Now it's definitely exciting. You
Oh
are,
yeah. Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Here we go.
Oh yeah. So many exciting things happening.
Sir, you probably remember I mentioned to you and our friend Eric that I saw something in the sky above my house.
Yeah, me and Eric were talking about about this,
About what?
about your abduction.
You guys, I definitely wasn't abducted. I definitely saw something. Ha ha ha.
uh, you crazy asshole.
Sir,
Sorry.
well,
Wait,
can
did I
I,
say that out loud? Oh
thank
no.
you. Well, can I qualify for the folks at home? I live next to, where I live is close to Teterboro Airport. I always see, Gulf Streams and also from Newark, I always see 737s and all the rest of those things.
Yes.
I saw planes that evening, but I also saw something that did not look like a plane. And I tried to film it, and
Was it aliens?
I don't know what the hell it
Ooh.
is. It probably wasn't one of these drones. But here's what's pissing me off.
Was it the Germans?
Now this guy came out, this Van Drew guy, this congressman, he said that it's supposedly Iranian.
Yeah, but the Pentagon just responded and said there's no Iranian motherships.
Well, obviously, why would they say that?
Well,
Why would they admit that?
why would they let this idiot from Jersey, what's his name? Van what?
He is from Jersey, Van Drew.
Van Drew, yeah.
Yeah.
Why'd they let him say it's Iranian motherships? Okay. Look, this is some kind of cognitive dissonance
Yeah.
BS, right? Um, there's something going on. I look, if I had to guess what it is, I think it's most likely um, a mitigation,
Yeah. Yeah.
but not. It's not clear in what direction this mitigation is going.
Yeah.
Is it to mitigate the effect of of some kind of non-human intelligence reaching out and having an effect on us?
Yeah.
Because that's a bad mitigation, right? They want to
Yeah.
minimize
Yeah.
the effect that these orbs right? So people started seeing orbs, and then all
Sir,
of a
step
sudden,
back from the mic a little bit. Sorry. Or push the mic away from you even more. Yeah. Sorry.
so is that better?
Yeah.
You don't have to apologize.
No, no, I
I
just I don't like cutting you off when you're in the middle of the thing.
I need technical guidance. It's fine.
Like though you see the mic, you can barely
Greg,
it's like 2 feet away from me. My
Greg,
mic.
I've gotten adjusted to being cut off. I'm comfortable with it now. I've
Listen,
accepted
man,
it.
that's been my life, so you know.
I know. I listen. I'm also, I'm the Jan Brady of whatever situation I'm in. So you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yes. Marsha, Marsha,
People,
Marsha.
yeah, people have been responding to some of my ex postings with
Hmm.
sure Jan, like with Marsha,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
sure Jan, like nobody believes Jan.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Yeah.
um, I think it could be, orbs are presenting themselves, right? And a lot of the videos of that people are showing like orbs, and then they're showing those like stupid looking, radio controlled, hobby planes up in the sky, right? I think it's to make the orbs look ridiculous. It's like, oh, look, just a bunch of hobbyists, right? Oh, it's an Iranian mothership. Okay, so then the government is trying to minimize the impact that plasmatic conscious orbs, right, revealing themselves, right? They're trying to marginalize the impact that might have on humanity, which, if that's the case, that it's almost like they're daring the orbs to get closer, right? They're going to have to, right?
Yeah.
Aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? In
Yeah.
order for people to say, to see like, oh, this is not,
Yeah.
this isn't like nerds.
Basically we're being primed. We're being primed psychologically. And the only reason we have reason to believe that is because this Coltart, this Australian
Ross Coulthart.
Ross Coulthart, this Australian. You know what? I want to find a video where he mentions this.
I just saw him on Twitter.
He basically said that it were January, um, February. There's gonna be
Bro,
something.
Mike Flynn is commenting on it right now. You want to hear what he says?
Sure.
He says, if this 38 minutes ago, if this mothership story is true, send it to Davy Jones' locker.
Mhm.
That's like shoot it down basically in the
Yeah.
water.
Yeah.
How dare our government be aware of this and do nothing?
Yeah.
Also, those who advocate shooting these drones down over civilian populated areas would be mistaken. The chances of killing innocent Americans are too high, especially
Yeah.
if these things are the size of like, friggin' was
Yeah.
that a Dodge van? Ow,
Yeah.
squeaky
God.
asshole. My cat's an asshole. I love her.
Most cats are, but we like them anyway.
There's like literally no reason. She just literally just bit me for no reason. God
Yeah.
bless her. All right.
Yeah.
So, okay. So
Yeah.
he's like, those kids shooting these drones down over civilian populated areas would be mistaken. Chances of killing Americans are too high. These drones should never have been allowed in U.S. airspace to begin with. Okay. That's a good point.
Yeah.
But Ross Coulthart just posted something.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, somebody named Avi who's quoting the
Yeah.
Pentagon. There's a
Yeah.
video attached of the Pentagon spokesman saying this is not an Iranian mothership.
Yeah.
They're literally saying we don't know what this is.
Yeah.
That's what that's what the Pentagon is saying.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean we believe them.
Is it okay if I play this short 2 minute thing of Cold Heart speaking about it?
How recent is it?
No, it's literally like now.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
He's talking about like what's going on now. The hell?
Been happening since I got back from Egypt. The volume of sightings of anomalous objects, weird objects in the sky, let's call it that. Let's not even call them UAPs. It's off the charts. I am besieged, overwhelmed, flooded, swamped by people sending me videos from all over the world. And it's not just in Bedminster, New Jersey, where people are seeing all these weird drones, so called. It's not just in the United Kingdom. It's India, Greenland, Russia, Kazakhstan, China, Japan. I cannot believe the volume of sightings that are going on at the moment. Something is showing itself in our skies. And I'm told, I can go into this in more detail when we talk in detail, but I'm told we should defer to the official line that these are drones, but I find that hard to swallow. A lot of people are seeing very weird things in the sky right now. They may not be displaying the so-called 5 observables, but the sheer frequency, the brazenness, and the way that they're able to operate with impunity at the moment, it just baffles me that after, I think it's what, 16, 17 straight days in the United Kingdom of drone sightings over sensitive Royal Air Force bases, none of these objects have been reported to have been brought down. This is really strange.
It's really strange. And by the way, let's just talk about drones right now. Let's go full Monty into the drone zone. But I do want to come back later because you've just come back from Egypt, which is not something people do casually usually. So I'd like to hear what your story is. And I've just come back from the Soul Foundation second symposium, and that had a lot of interesting things in it. But let's go back to drones. I find it highly hard to believe that things are going on as sort of calmly as they are, in that we're not actually talking about the fact that these things, whatever they are, call them drones, call them UAP, but they're operating without anybody trying to shoot them down.
So that seems pretty,
this is not the video that I want to see, but yeah.
yeah, it's old. That one. I just sent you the last thing that Ross Coulthard posted.
Where did you send
on
it?
Twitter.
You could post it on this in the chat here.
I can't because I did it on my phone. I sent it to Signal.
Oh, I mean, there's no way for me to.
Oh, how about what do you have on your on the?
You can't do it. You can't post it in this chat on on Zoom.
Well, I'm looking on my phone.
No, just do it. Oh, okay.
Can I put it on?
I'm saying it's from Cold Heart's account.
Yeah, it's if you just go straight to Twitter, it's the last thing he posted.
This is of a girl. The girl talking about the representative.
Yeah, but just show people what he said.
It's not him. It's her talking. Oh, what he's okay. This is now dramatic. This is now a dramatic and totally new scenario. Department of Defense now admits these mystery so-called drones are not foreign adversaries, nor are they from U.S. government. What other potential prosaic explanations are there? These are also not amateur hobbyist craft. We have been assured for days they must be state actors. Time for the truth. And then he tags President of the United States. They're not going to tell us. What's there to tell us? You know.
Look. Most of that stuff looks like drones.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a couple of orb videos.
Yeah.
The orbs are probably the interesting things.
Yeah, of course. I wonder what Bledsoe has. Let me see what Bledsoe, because I'm.
Yeah, we were going to talk about, like, see if you made any comments about it.
But why were you guys laughing at my thing? That's what I'd love to know.
I totally made that up. We never even spoke about it. I just wanted to make you feel silly for a moment. You know,
dude, I can tell you that there's two things. One, whatever I did see with my own like naked eye was not a plane. I know that for a fact. And you even said, I remember how I said it was like triangular, and you could say that it was a stealth bomber, but you're like, and then you showed me a video of a stealth bomber, the noise that it makes when it's up close. There was no noise at all.
The people should hear what a stealth bomber sounds like.
Yeah.
I think that is a very important little piece of information. Like, could play a video clip.
Yeah, because here's the thing, like these supposed, even if they're like Iranian, this and they don't make any noise. They don't make one bit of noise at all. And they're very close. They're filmed very close, unless they're filmed far away, and they're just very big. And either way, they're not making any noise. So here, this is a video called "Stealth Bomber Disappears," but I think there's noise in this one. Like it makes some certain bit of noise. Let's see.
No, just you could find like in one of those like shorts, the YouTube shorts where the stealth bomber is flying over people at an
Yeah,
air show.
yeah, yeah.
That's probably the best
Here,
way.
stealth bomber air show. Let's see. Yeah, just do like one of these. All right. Yeah, we'll do that. Full thrust. Stealth bomber full thrust.
Even as it like slowly passes.
Sure, sure, sure. By the way, it didn't even look, it didn't even look like that. It didn't have the ridges. It just had a triangle, and then outline. The outline triangle is like lights of the outline of the triangle.
Yeah.
And it was like just flying, it was like behind me. So it's flying basically, it was flying west. So it's interesting because they were saying that, a lot of them they saw over Route 80 in Jersey, in Bergen County, Passaic County. So it's
Yeah.
flying towards that direction, towards Pennsylvania. I managed to film something. I managed to take a picture. Of course, it was like too far away by the and then I zoomed in, and when you zoom in, you lose resolution. So like, of course,
Yeah.
out of focus monster status.
Yeah, but I was thinking like if I wanted to duplicate that effect,
No.
I wonder how it'd be possible. Like, I don't want to sound that like this is just a naive, kind of assertion, but let's say you had, you got a drone, a quadcopter, right? And around it, you placed like a wire frame in the shape of, let's say, like a triangle, a
Yeah.
delta
Yeah.
shape, right?
Yeah.
And just kind of hooked up little LEDs around it, right? And then it could appear much larger than it is because the wire frame is basically doesn't weigh anything. If as long as it's sturdy enough to just kind of hold up the lights, the little LED lights that are on it, right?
Yeah.
And then the mass itself is the quadcopter, right? The little drone. And you could at night you can trick people, with because lights can make things appear more voluminous than they are, they
Yeah.
have more volume and they can, sort of outline a shape that does not necessarily represent the object. I think people are doing this. This is the kind of stuff that I'm not saying that that's what you experienced. I'm just saying that like if I had to replicate it, right? Could you find a mundane explanation for it, for what you saw? I'm asking you. Do you think that you could replicate do you think that you could trick yourself with presenting to yourself what you saw in the sky?
Possible, but dude, I think I don't know if you remember when I said that to you, when I said what I saw.
Yeah.
When I've seen planes, I never got chills. When I saw this thing,
I'm
I
gonna be a gloomy
and
Gus.
just let me say one more thing. That evening there was a lot of just pl airplane activity in the sky. It was a very clear, what was it?
Yeah.
December, I think it was December 8th or Sunday or Monday. It was Sunday. I'm sorry, Sunday night. It was very clear sky because the next two following nights were very overcast. So I saw all kinds of, these Gulf Streams. I saw this, the planes that are coming from Newark, just different things that I identified as planes. And then I'm looking and then I see this thing and I just got like, you know, just like chills. And I don't know. Again, it could be something that I'm telling myself, this thing is that is what I think it is and not a plane. It could be, it could very well be. But I suspect that it wasn't. Also because it hung in the air, meaning it was almost like as if stationary in the air for a little bit. Stationary. And then of course when I, put up my phone and I tried to like put on camera mode, like video
Yeah.
to film, first I had just photo camera mode and then I tried to keep switching to film and it was taking forever. My phone's slow. And the minute it was, started doing that, the thing started moving. So it was from stationary to moving away from me, like in my direct line of sight. So that's what gave me pause. That and the shape and the lights and I was like, dude, yeah. Again, unless I was what I was seeing was an optical illusion. I don't think it was.
So the quadcopter drones, right? If they're a certain distance up, you
Yeah,
can't really hear them. They sound,
yeah,
they're not loud,
yeah.
especially when they're hovering. Like I remember seeing drones when I was living in Aventura. They would have, I was living in a building that was on the golf course there.
Hmm.
And they would have there was like a country club at the golf course, and they would have events there.
Yeah,
And sometimes they would have fireworks, and then somebody would be operating a drone to film the fireworks and stuff like that.
yeah,
And I lived on a 23rd floor,
yeah,
and there was drones always flying around the golf course and stuff
yeah,
like that. And I remember being surprised how quiet they were. I thought they'd
yeah,
be much louder.
yeah,
And they're pretty stable.
yeah.
They're kind of like hovering there. And dude, I'll tell you this. There were one of the parties they were having there was some kind of Chinese theme,
Hmm.
and I nearly had a heart attack
Why is
because
that?
one of the Chinese lanterns had broken loose from them, and it floated towards my balcony on the 23rd floor.
Oh, yeah.
And again, I didn't know any of this. I only found out everything later, but I saw a Chinese drone just kind of like float, a Chinese lantern float past my balcony, and I
Yeah.
had a heart attack. I thought that was a UFO for a
Oh
second,
my
right?
God.
And then I realized, wow,
Yeah,
that was a Chinese lantern. And then I
yeah,
thought to myself, what would it be like to actually see like a real UFO if a
yeah,
Chinese lantern does that to me?
yeah,
Like so. Listen, if you saw an orb, you know,
yeah,
like some kind of like glowing mini sun, a plasma, with that telepathically communicated to you, I would have been like, all right, I'm gonna stop giving you a hard time. All right.
yeah,
But a light in the sky, they effed it up too much. They effed it up too much. They can't, that's not, you can't, it's unacceptable. Like,
yeah.
I think you shouldn't accept it. Like to yourself, you should say, you know what? No, no, that I need better than that.
No, of course I
I
need.
don't accept
I
that.
of course I need better than that. But listen, I mean, like it's one of those things where again, when I live in Jersey, so the previous few nights I'm seeing these videos, and I'm seeing people, yeah, and I'm seeing people post like orbs, not just drones, but orbs,
The orbs are
A-
interesting.
and the same, and it's literally identical orbs to what we've been seeing from Bledsoe, what you and I actually drove to go see, which we didn't see. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, so like, and they're all over the place over here. Like even dude, the last few nights, every time it hits like 5 o'clock, like right now, you're gonna maybe I'll I'm thinking maybe I should I don't know if I could point to what's it called. What I could do is like look up and tell the folks home if I see anything. But like in about an hour, the show starts, so to speak.
I was thinking, I
If
was
it
thinking,
starts.
I was thinking to myself the other day, like you're on
Yeah,
location.
yeah,
Maybe,
yeah,
maybe go, you be our on location. I mean, like
yeah.
what was that thing from Family Guy? Like the black guy that they
Oh,
send
the Blackie weather
is
forecast. Yeah.
it's raining.
It's gonna rain. No, he's like, first like, it's gonna rain. And then
I'm
he's
getting
like,
abducted.
it's already raining. Yeah, I'm getting
Right.
I
It's
see the
like,
alien. Dude, by the way, I wanted to, so my cat, right? He's an outdoor cat. Every evening for the past week, he's so funny. He does this whole meowing shtick that he wants to go outside in the evening. And it's already like 7. And I look at him and I go, you can't go outside. There's scary aliens outside. And he looks at me like this. And then
he's like,
and then he looks at me and he gives me this look and he stares at me for like 30 seconds and then he just kind of like puts his head down like depressed and then he like he like sits down kind of like a sphinx, puts his head down. He's like, okay, okay,
bummed him out.
aliens. Yeah, he's like aliens, but I'm an alien. Like, no, it's not the same kind of alien.
He was like, I was gonna go see Margaret.
Yes,
You tell me there's aliens out
exactly,
there?
exactly.
Sorry, Margaret. Yeah.
Yeah, he's very
Um,
funny though. He understands everything I'm saying. Gives me these looks.
yeah.
There's a theory that they are like the Egyptians, the ancient Egyptians thought that they were aliens. They thought that cats were aliens or malachim, some kind of gods, some kind of angels or gods.
Yeah.
and they that's why they worship them, or that they landed from like another planet. Sometimes I wonder about them, about cats, if they're like some kind of foreign, not of this earth.
Oh, we spoke about this.
Yeah.
Well, it probably hasn't been a while, but that angels, right? There's a classification of angels called the Chayot,
Yeah.
the holy Chayot, right? The
Yeah.
Chayot. And so Chayot means animals.
Yeah.
Or the living
Yeah.
the living beings, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
So that a lot of the angels, very high angels,
Yeah.
are actually, if you're going to run into them, I don't know how you'd run into them, but if you'd run into them, it'd be in the form of animals.
Mhm.
It makes me think that those are the animals
Yeah.
in the Garden of Eden,
Yeah.
the Chayot angels.
Yeah.
And the animals that we encounter here are like little sparks of them, like,
Yeah.
so in a sense they are,
Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, man, the me and Eric saw it, something like he has an app. Basically, I mean, here's the whole story. We went to shul, right?
Yeah.
He saw something in the sky that, according to his app, wasn't supposed to be there. He has an app that, if you point it to the sky, it tells you what planet is, what planet is there. It's an astronomy app.
Oh, your friends show that. That's not astronomy. It's some other kind of app that your friend who's like was a cop or something like that. He had another kind of app he showed us. Or
My friend,
we visited your friend, he's like Armenian, Lebanese. I don't know if I should say. We ran
where
into him and we ran into him in a restaurant, and then we visited. He's got all these pew pew. He has a whole arsenal.
Oh, okay. Okay,
That
I
guy.
understand what you're talking about now.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
why
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
got confused. He's
Yeah.
you're not the correct description at all.
I know, but he had like an app that he
Yeah,
couldn't really, and then he's like you point to the sky and you could see all the like you could see satellites.
right. That's not what Eric had.
Oh,
Eric
okay,
had
fine.
specifically an astronomy app
Oh, okay.
where he's like, you point it up, it tells you which stars
Yeah,
or
yeah,
what planet that is. So he pointed his app at this like bright light in the sky, which to me looked like Jupiter on a
Mm-hmm.
clear night,
Mm-hmm.
and because that's what Jupiter looks like. And then he's like, no, no, no. According to the app, Jupiter is over there
Mm-hmm.
at this time. I think he goes, there's not supposed to be anything there according to the app. So if the app was right, folks, there was a freaking just a dot of light that was pretty big, just kind of stationary in the sky for about 45 minutes.
And then it disappeared.
I don't know. We had to go inside to
Oh.
pray evening
Oh.
services,
Oh,
and then it wasn't there when we came out. So
kind of crazy.
yeah. So I mean, I
This
can't
whole,
prove it.
do you know what this whole thing reminds me of? Because sure the folks at home, what this whole thing reminds me of. This is what this reminds me of. And I'll give folks the whole context. Video ever plays. I've shown you this before, but I want to show the folks at home. Okay.
Huh? Did you take the money from the family jar?
Who, me? Yes, me. Couldn't be. Then who? Yeah, I did it. I bought us volcano insurance.
Volcano insurance? That's ridiculous.
Oh, that's the same thing you said when you talked me out of getting that cloud insurance. Look at them up there. Just plotting. Picking their moment.
So, Bill, we attack tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow.
I mean it this time.
I do too.
This is exactly what this is.
Yeah.
It's,
No, it's not. Stop it.
it's
It's not. I don't agree with you.
I know.
Something's gonna happen. Okay. So, but yeah. So again, I obviously this is a very disappointing situation. And statements from people, that's great, that's good. By the way, like the famous UFO voices or people who are like Lou Elizondo, people like that. They've been very quiet about this.
Yeah.
Let's see. Can you look can you look up to see if Lou Elizondo made a statement about
Oh,
it?
Lozando? No, he's well, Lozando has been trying to say that it's government. 'Cause I don't know if you saw I
Oh,
posted
you heard him say something. Okay.
something, yeah. But here's before I pull that up. Oh, here's a guy. This guy, Spac Daddy Doug. He's like a what the hell is this guy? Some kind of guy from New Jersey. He writes, according to New Jersey State Police, drones have a wingspan of 6 feet, are also operating without lights, 6 to 7 hours of flight time, not detectable by radio frequency, difficult to detect by helicopter, highly maneuverable. Coast Guard is now involved. Also, you're just kind of like giving an update, basically. Yeah. Let's
That was
see what
great,
else.
Greg.
Yes, fascinating. Let's see what Luluzando says about this. Oh, tonight I joined Chris Cuomo. Okay, so I guess they're gonna talk about this tonight at 8 p.m. on News Nation. Good. So yeah, Chris Cuomo, he's attempting to do journalism, which I guess is good.
It's
Sort
hard to
of.
watch Chris Cuomo.
I know. It's Fredo. It's Fredo. Yeah. Okay. That's some other post. After decades of denial, the Pentagon finally admits it's baffled by UFOs. Okay, he posted that. Something with his wife. Ambition to continue something. Okay. GOP Oversight Committee. Oh, he's reposting. He has not posted anything on his account about any of this, but let's see. Maybe I saw something. Him appearing. Here we go.
It's good he didn't because people just like waiting to see him screw up, say the wrong thing so they can jump on him.
Here, some guy, former Pentagon official Lou Elizondo reveals shocking truth about recent UFO incursions. These aren't your everyday drones. Let's see what else. Oh, here we go. This is from this Red Panda Koala account. It's not just over Jersey, but a very similar issue over Langley. This is something far more complex that can be flown over the horizon, has a loiter capability of several hours. Let's see. Let's go to the videotape of Mr. Elizondo. Why is this thing? I don't want to annotate this. Well, why is it like?
Wait, this is from when? From last night?
This is like from a couple of days ago. Yeah. 1 second. Okay. Why is it like giving me problems here?
Elizondo, it's good to have you again. What's your guess on this? I mean, look, the good news is you see a lot of navigation lights on these things. You see red and greens on a lot of these, which, as you know, are familiar lighting that people put on drones over a certain size. What's your guess as to why there's so many over Jersey all of a sudden?
Well, Chris, surprisingly enough, it's not just over Jersey. Recently, over a few weeks ago, we had a very similar issue over Langley Air Force Base, one of our most sensitive military installations. And frankly, if you look back the last 4 or 5 years, there was actually a very similar occurrence back in Colorado, where for weeks, local and state law enforcement officials were chasing these things in the skies, almost doing a racetrack pattern, and no one seemed to know what the heck was going on. Actually, this is one of the very reasons why I decided to testify before Congress a few weeks ago, because quite frankly, we don't really have control of our U.S. airspace. We don't have awareness of what are in our skies.
Do you believe that the FBI has been looking for a month and doesn't have any answer about what these are when there's so many?
Well, I've worked with the FBI in the past, and they tend to be very, very competent when they're doing investigations. I do believe they have some answers. I don't think they have all the answers yet. What further makes this more complicated, you have an issue where these things are being seen over civilian airspace, so you have jurisdictional issues, right? You have, from a federal perspective, you have FBI leading the law enforcement investigation, but you also have the Department of Defense. You have folks like the U.S. Air Force and Office of Special Investigations. You have DHS and even the FAA. And so all these federal agencies, forget about even the state and local agencies, are trying to work together and try to deconflict what's in the skies. And unfortunately, they just don't seem to have a common operating picture right now of exactly what we're dealing with.
You think they're wrong about the size? Because, it's not easy to find drones of any significant size on the commercial market.
Yeah, so here's the problem, Chris. Great point. We know that commercial drones tend to be a typical size and they use a certain amount of power, if you will, and have a certain amount of loiter time, a certain amount of range. It typically can be anywhere between 15, maybe 20 minutes if you're lucky. And then you have to have line of sight in order to control these things. If you talk about anything bigger than that, you're really talking about a state sponsored capability. This isn't a hobbyist. This isn't a drone that someone buys, let's say, from Radio Shack or buys from Amazon. This is something far more complex that can be flown beyond line of sight, i.e., over the horizon, and has a loiter capability in some cases of several hours. And if you're talking about an SUV size or larger potentially drone, this is a problem. Look, the U.S. Navy has been reporting these types of drones, in some cases the size of cars and even bigger, for years now. And this is exactly emphasizing the point why we need to take this topic seriously.
Senator, your problem is going to be that they're going to know and they're not going to want to tell you. And that's why I'm saying you've got an open invitation here to voice your concern.
Well, let me say this, that today I called for a state of emergency, a limited state of emergency to ban all drones from the sky. Now, we've had a state of emergency the night before a snowstorm. So this is clearly more important than a mild snowstorm. And if you ban all of these drones from the sky, I think the public will feel as if the state of New Jersey, and hopefully in conjunction with the federal government, that they're doing something. The fact that there is no ban at this time indicates that there must be a connection to government action or a government agency. Otherwise, I'm convinced they would ban all drones in New Jersey at this time.
Wow, that was a whole lot of nothing.
Can I play something from this guy? There's a guy, Jordan Crowder, on Twitter. I mean, he says things, he posts things, but he writes things, but also
I think I've seen him too. I have no
Yeah.
idea who he is, and I
Yeah.
think the only reason people even look at him is because they think they get confused. Is that Steven Crowder or Jordan
Well,
Peterson?
yeah, exactly. No, he's got this podcast called Alive and Kicking in Florida, Santa Rosa Beach, Florida. So he wrote, this is the last two things he wrote. We are watching catastrophic disclosure plus ontological shock in real time. I've been trying to get people ready. Next, he says, this is an IQ test from a higher plane. How do you think we're doing? And then he posts, he comments about this Van, whatever, Drew. He goes, this guy's absolutely retarded and should not be listened to. He's a bumbling idiot. He goes, the United States is absolutely ridiculous right now. If these are Iranian, then our military and intelligence is completely inept, and we should all get an instant refund on our taxes, and everyone in charge should be fired. But these are not Iranian drones. And then he goes,
They're not. They're American. This is like
yeah.
this
And
is
then-
like Lockheed Martin. Just
Yeah,
you know.
And then he goes, okay, he writes, shouldn't be a conspiracy. Oh, and then he goes, he posts the video of the congressional hearing yesterday, and he goes, catastrophic disclosure comes with ontological shock. Look at all their faces. Our leaders are ill-equipped for the situation. It's going to get messy, y'all. And then he's constantly, tagging, Cliff High, because Cliff High apparently had this, whatever, his program that predicted actually something happening literally this week, December 3rd or something like that.
Yeah.
He goes, now that the federal government is involved, that whole melee thing should be here anytime. And then he tagged Cliff High. The gray aliens are abducting us to get ancient reptilian. Oh my God, and Anunnaki genetics. This is hilarious. Wonder exactly how the government will. This is all in the past 24 hours. He's writing how the government will word it when they're forced to admit many of these drones are not of human origin. Give it less than a week. What's interesting? When this Van Drew guy said what he said he used the term mothership. He didn't say this is a naval vessel. He didn't say this is because he was talking about Iranian. He's like, this is not he didn't say it's like a cargo plane, circling around the Atlantic. He said it's a mothership. And I said that, and somebody responded to me, well, no, it's like it's common parlance, right? For this kind of thing. I said, is it? Like, I don't know.
Oh, it's very, very annoying.
So he goes, it's like when you ask AI to create a plane. He posts a picture of this. Look at this, a picture of this thing that looks like a plane, but it's not. And then he goes, It's like when you ask AI to create a plane and it gets almost perfect, but something is just off. Yep, this is real life uncanny valley. Something is pumping out craft in a wide variety of shapes and sizes. Most don't show up on flight trackers. Not sure about radar, but that would help information. But the government is hiding in a cave right now. I mean, did a super AI 3D printer just go berserk in New Jersey? Are they testing out different holographic projections on an unwitting public? Are these always
Yes.
there?
Yes
Are
to
these,
all of it.
yeah. Are these always there, but for some reason we can just see them now? Are they just regular planes and drones and everything everyone is tripping? The reaction from the people on the ground paint a picture that whatever it is not normal. What do you think?
Okay, so the people who are look, the people who are freaking out, right? They're just excited and they're hoping
Yeah.
it's something that it may not be. Okay. So we can't really go by that. I'm sorry, we can't.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that it's probably um, our own government. But when I say government, I mean the people who are really running the government.
Yeah.
You know, like corporate
Yeah.
entities, right?
Yeah.
Like from the military industrial complex
Yeah.
that are testing shit on us.
Yeah. They're either
Okay,
testing
they're
stuff on
testing.
us or they're testing maybe there is some threat inside the country and they're testing how, they would respond to it or they're scanning
No,
for something.
they're using. They probably got like. This is just me speculating, right?
Uh-huh.
Just more like thing, because I'll tell you why. Why in a second. Why am I coming up with all these? Why am I stressing so hard to come up with a mundane, uh, more realistic, more easily acceptable excuse? Because if this was a supernatural thing, if this was the Marshmallow Man, I feel like the Marshmallow Man would make sure we understand that he's the Marshmallow Man.
Yeah.
He would just kind of hang back and let us wonder what's going on.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so for that reason, that's why this is most likely just a bunch of dicks who are unfortunately human and messing with us.
Yeah.
Because remember, folks, when we think about the government or the higher ups or the
Yeah.
elite or all this kind of
Yeah.
stuff, we're always thinking, because we were in the movies, we're always thinking about
Yeah.
like old white men
Yeah.
sitting there like this.
Yeah.
It's not like that anymore. It's
Yeah.
guys our age,
Yeah.
fucking assholes, the same pricks that we grew up with,
Yeah.
douchebags.
So
Okay,
can I throw dicks at your dicks?
what I'm saying is, I grew up in public school, so
Yeah. Yeah.
come on,
Yeah,
guys, you know what I'm talking about.
Same. So I'm gonna throw like outside, and I mentioned this and I mentioned this to you in private.
Dipshits, okay,
Yes.
with technology.
So here's my question, man. Remember this whole Haim Eshed thing?
Yeah,
What if it is these entities that I guess Trump has already been in touch with and certain people in our government have been in touch with? What if it's them doing some kind of coordinated thing to prime us for actually, they basically said, hey guys, can you just do like a little bit of a light show for us for about a week or two, and then that'll kind of get the people in the spirit of things, so to speak, and then we'll come in and actually show ourselves. Is
that'd
that
be great.
is that a possibility?
It's technically a possibility. It doesn't really make that much sense because I think it'll create more confusion. I think if those things ever show up,
Yeah.
they're probably going to want people to like not doubt what's happening.
Yeah.
Right. So with this kind of crap, people are going to be like, we'd like to believe you, but we don't, we don't trust, people like to pull pranks on us and we don't know what to say to you guys. Sorry.
What I'm saying is I think that if there are in fact there's like some race of whatever being which I'm assuming is similar to us in terms of being humanoid and even similar consciousness, maybe not the same, maybe even higher consciousness, they would probably assume, or they know that we will, if they just show up out of nowhere, that we will completely freak the hell out. There will be a mass panic. Because, dude, listen, a lot of people, because I think about this, a lot of people are not like you and me, or people like us. Most of the people out there, like, dude, I told you this, even my family, like, I've told people in my family, they haven't dismissed me when I've mentioned, oh, about the drones. Oh, yeah, I heard something about that. Oh, what about it? Like, I wonder what they are. So people are like peripherally paying attention, but they're not really. Most of the people are still
Rightfully
not.
so.
No, rightfully
Rightfully
so.
so.
But what I'm saying is, a lot of people will have. It'll be beyond what we call in Hebrew spheres Kalim. It will be beyond that. So I don't. I have a feeling that whatever these things are, they don't want that to happen because there's going to be a lot of
Bro, they should just send
shock.
some. They should just send someone like me. I would come down. No, I'm not trying to make a joke here, but for a
Yeah,
second,
yeah,
just like you're like, I'm sorry to surprise you. I
yeah,
mean, have you looked into the sky?
yeah,
Did you really think you're the only ones around? There's other people around too. We're saying hi.
yeah.
You can't accept the fact that you might have a neighbor. Deal with it, asshole. Big deal. And then everybody will calm down right away.
Listen, a lot of we said this before. There's been such a long, psyop in the entertainment field and in the media about this topic, and people laugh the minute they hear the term UFO. They don't even know what UAP is,
Dude, I'm telling you
you
that
know?
the whole psyop that you're discussing right now is an ancient technique.
Yeah,
I
for
use the
sure.
example of Hannibal's, Hannibal would come across the mountains on elephants and stuff like that, right?
Yeah,
So nobody who's never seen that would believe it.
yeah,
So he would send people like way ahead, like weeks ahead, of places where he was traveling
yeah,
to entertainers to go to villages and tell them stories about these giant beasts, and everybody's
yeah,
like, oh, you know,
yeah,
like, oh, a tall tale. And then all of a
yeah,
sudden when they see it,
yeah,
they wouldn't prepare for it because they wouldn't believe anything like that because
yeah,
somebody lampooned it already.
yeah.
So I don't think the government or any kind of human anything that's doing this is trying to prepare us. I think they're trying to create confusion and chaos, and they're trying to probably interfere with any kind of heavenly intervention.
So, okay, so if that's true, so Cold Heart is basically saying it doesn't matter because they're gonna reveal themselves anyway in about a month or two.
It's not that. Forget about Cold Heart. I don't know if I trust that guy, you know.
Okay.
Um, but I mean, I listen to what he says because it might give you a hint as to what's being planned, you know.
Hmm.
But that's obviously what's going to happen. What needs to happen, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's going to have to be, they're going to have to stop with the games. They're going to have to make it so obvious that nobody can trick us anymore.
Yeah.
That's what's going to have to happen because
Yeah.
whoever's interfering with this process, right?
Yeah.
Is the Sitra Achra.
Of course.
And the Sitra Achra wants to, it needs to be in control. It has to be in control of perception. And if it loses that control, it's dead. It wants to maintain power and control. Look, the Sitra Achra was never in control, right? But all the governments that people have ever had were Sitra Achra governments.
Yeah.
So explain that. So basically, even though the Sitra Achra was never actually in control, it was always God, right? God allowed the Sitra Achra to maintain its spell, or it's this delusion that it cast on mankind.
Yeah.
So it wants to hold on to that. It wants to hold on. It wants to be able to maintain the delusion that it's in charge. Okay. The human governments of the world have all been Sitra Achra. They want to maintain the illusion of power and control.
Yeah. So
okay, there have been cracks in the armor in terms of that delusion with Trump.
Yeah.
With the 2020 election.
Yeah.
Right. And everything that was going on in Israel when they couldn't find a prime minister for like 5 straight years. Right.
5 straight. Not years, but like five elections in 2 years.
Five. Oh, that was 2 years. 5 elections.
2.5 years. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can see why I said 5 years.
Yeah. It seemed like 5
plausible.
Years. Yeah.
Way more plausible than 5 elections in 2 years.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but yeah.
So basically, it's like, they've been struggling so hard to kind of reclaim that perception that To some extent, Trump is a part of it. To some extent,
Yeah.
because you know, why does he want to maintain the Republican Party? Why does he still continue trying to work with these
A
people?
lot of the things that he supposedly wants to either maintain or doesn't want to, kind of destroy. Like he calculates for himself. There's two things. One is that there's a lot of the time he doesn't want to like, jail this and that person where he could have done that. He even said it would be bad for the country. I could have
I
done
don't
it, but
agree.
okay. So I'm just saying what his reasoning is. The second thing is that, there's things that he can you know, work
I don't
within.
agree that he really thinks that. Is what I'm saying. He knows that that's, in my view, he knows that's bullshit. Okay, so the only thing that he might be doing is he's trying to like, kind of like, coax them out of
Yeah,
their.
yeah. Well,
There's an
that's
expression.
basically draining the swamp out of their holes.
Get, get them, to smoke them out of their rat holes
Yeah,
or their crab holes or whatever,
yeah.
right? To
Rattles,
get them to come out on their own,
yeah.
and then you know, that kind of thing. Okay, so perhaps that's what's happening, but the point is that anything other than full blown revelation of Mashiach, who takes the official throne of God, right? We're establishing the throne of God. Everything else is Sitra Achra. Everything.
Yeah.
It's all Sitra Achra until we get to that point.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and the Sitra Achra wants to hold on to its place, to its position as long as it can. It wants to live.
Yeah.
That's why we're seeing, Lockheed douchebags, sending, stupid little toy planes. They're not stupid. They're amazing pieces of technology. They can stay up in the air for
Right.
2 days. They're probably using, some kind of energy source that is not available to the public.
Correct.
Okay, some kind of nuclear energy or some kind of 0 point energy or whatever.
Yeah.
Some kind of super duper battery, that can.
Not only that it zaps other drones. When people try to send them drones, their battery, they said their battery was full and then it died completely.
Right.
Imagine like your phone is on 100 and it goes to 0 automatically.
Yeah. Here's the IQ test that I don't know. I don't agree with that Jordan Crowder or whatever.
I want to read something else that he wrote after you.
But he said this is an IQ test for mankind. Okay, I agree. It is not the way he means it, but yes, I do because okay, fine. These aren't, the drone things aren't aliens. Okay, so you can keep a minivan up in the sky for 2 straight days.
Yeah.
What does that mean for mankind? Extrapolate that, the technology that's involved in that and how that could benefit mankind. Think about it.
Exactly. As we should
that
be
alone,
we're at Jetsons level at this point.
Revelation. This is amazing. The technology
deal,
revelation is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Think about it.
This should infuriate everybody. The fact that we don't, we don't have access to this.
Like, I was excited about my Lexus V8 sports utility vehicle because I don't get stuck in a ditch because it has the DAC system, where if you're on the beach and you get stuck in a sand dune or something like that, and then some of the tires are off the ground and you're spinning your tires, so it transfers all of the power to the only tire that is making contact with the surface, and you could actually get out of the mud or the sand or whatever. That was exciting to me. But you're telling me that I could have something that could fly in the sky for 2 hours, the same size as my freaking Lexus SUV? What the hell? Fuck you.
Yeah.
You understand? Like, think about what we're seeing here. It's if people don't get distracted by the alien thing, wow, what a revolution! Like, this alone should start a riot.
It's like you've been holding on to this. I don't know. Well, that's the thing that people have gotten into their heads that, there are things that the government has and there are things that we have. And what the government has is what they have. And, and they just accept it. There's people that, I remember even talking to my friends about this in college that, you realize that, like we were talking about when the iPhone first came out, like the first iPhone, right? 2005, whenever it came out. And we knew that, like, we didn't know what the term for it was. The term was planned obsolescence, that they already have the 6 and, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, years in advance. And they just keep, they release them and then they phase them out and they phase. So, and then we said to ourselves, well, what about what the government has? even more advanced than what we have access to. So people just like they accepted everything else. Dude, like think about this, the whole after I say this, I want to read what this guy wrote. These people, right, that are screaming about the murder of United Healthcare CEO, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a similar thing. Like people are like, well, these guys are bad, but the other guys are not. It's like they're upset, they're upset about these healthcare CEOs, but they're not upset about Burla. I literally wrote on Twitter, I'm like, you guys want all these guys to die, but you took the vaccine. You should direct all your anger towards Burla, not, I mean, also maybe to the healthcare CEOs, but for sure to Burla.
By the way,
It's a similar, people are just like compartmentalized, and I guess you could say they've been psyoped to compartmentalize their thinking.
bro, it
That's
actually,
it.
you know that cloud cartoon that you showed, where
Yeah.
they're planning. That's more like that's not the NHI,
I know,
non-human intelligence. That's more like us.
I know.
Like,
Yeah.
we're gonna do something tomorrow. We'll do
Yeah,
something.
yeah, tomorrow we'll do something. Yeah, yeah. Can I read to you from this Jordan? This is something he wrote a few days ago, a couple days ago. This is something actually I agree with. He wrote, most of the major UFO experts and analysts and superstars are curiously quiet, given we are living through one of the biggest and strangest UFO collapses in our lifetimes. Why the silence? These are the people that build careers off this topic. It's an all hands on deck situation, and it's crickets out there. I'm sure some are playing the wait and see game, which is acceptable given the strangeness of the situation, but this field is not one for the timid. This is what we do here. We dive into the strange, not run from it. Or some of these folks are just too close to the powers that be and have been told what to stay silent. That's obviously concerning because it means people are strongly influenced, not necessarily finding the objective truth, or maybe they just think this is a bunch of nothing to see here and they don't feel obligated to pitch in. I don't know, but I follow a lot of prominent UFOologists that are oddly quiet in a time when people are looking to them for answers. Not a good look.
No, because look, what do they expect? They're like, look, we've been
yeah.
saying that that the government has like technology, right? They have alien reproduction vehicles, that stuff. They use these kind of terms and stuff like that, where they from crashed vehicles or from gifted vehicles, they extract the technology and they use that. So what are they supposed to say on top of that? Like strangely quiet. Like what are they supposed to say? Like what the hell is Louis Lozano supposed to say? I was like, we got drones.
Yeah.
We told you we got drones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I? Oh, he made a video. This guy, the same guy, made a video about. It's called Galactic Federation Craft. Oh, he's like, that's definitely not what's going on. It's funny,
bro.
Yeah, let's see.
I don't want to hear anything about the Galactic Federation. I'm serious. Like,
really? Or even that Trump has a contact with them?
Look, let's talk about Hayam Eshed for a second, okay?
Yeah.
Look, either we have a Galactic Federation, which is like, if that's true, maybe he shouldn't have said anything.
Maybe he shouldn't have said it?
Maybe he shouldn't have said anything because it's so preposterous, right? It's such a preposterous sounding thing that because it's so unprovable, right? Even if it's true, it's just not. It serves no one to say that. It's so far away from the experience of anyone else who is not aware of the Galactic Federation that it would be completely. Who is it serving to say that? Why would he even say that?
I guess so. Once this thing is revealed, we can look back on it and say, "Oh, remember that guy?" He said.
I think they told him. I think
they told him to say that.
I think he was told to say that.
Can I read to you an article?
I think they said, "Look." They're like, "Look, we'll keep funding your satellite launches, right? So you can study the moon." And you can send more, you can continue your work, which you're passionate about. But we need you to say this right now. We need you to say this crazy. You know what I mean? I don't know.
And then mention Trump. Can I read to you an article? This is not about Eshed. This is another article in J-Post from actually this past June, a few months ago. Uri Geller. You know Uri Geller, the mentalist?
Oh man, please
listen to this. No, but can I read you this article? This is actually fascinating. This is in J-Post. entitled Aliens Built the Jerusalem Temple May Help Israel During War. Aliens built the Beit HaMikdash, the ancient Jewish temple of Jerusalem, for biblical times, and those same aliens may very well intervene on Israel's behalf in the event that the war against Hamas would worsen. Israeli British mystifier and entertainer Uri Geller claimed. Geller had been responding to an incident, in the United Kingdom where protesters from Just Stop Oil vandalized Stonehenge with orange cornflower, endangering the rare lichen that lives on the stones. Representatives from English heritage charity that manages sites like Stonehenge expressed their shocks over the vandalization. Geller, however, warned in an interview with the Daily Star that the damage could incite extraterrestrials to come to Earth in response. Though the monument is shrouded in mystery, many people believe that Stonehenge was constructed by or with the help of aliens. While modern experts disagree with these claims, many people still believe them, including Bet Geller. Quote, I believe Stonehenge was built by aliens or with help of aliens who used advanced tech to help us. The Israeli spoonbender told the Jerusalem Post. He added his belief that Stonehenge's purpose was to create a model of the solar system and serve as an alien landing pad. I totally believe that the explanation is aliens. The site has cosmic and spiritual significance, no doubt about it. But Stonehenge isn't the only historical landmark Geller claims was created by aliens. Later, in an interview with Daily Star, the Israeli spoonbender warned that this may upset some people. Many monuments, including Stonehenge, the Beit HaMikdash, and the pyramids were created by extraterrestrials. That's what I believe. There are certain cosmic focal points that have some subliminal powers. The Beit HaMikdash is a powerhouse of infinite kind of energy. It's not wrong. Geller has long claimed to have knowledge of aliens and is firm in his belief that they are benevolent. In fact, Geller, who recently also claimed to have played part in Israel's successful effort to thwart the Iranian drone and missile attack on the Jewish state back in April, believes that aliens can also play a geopolitical role in the Middle East. Specifically, he said they may even take sides. I wouldn't be surprised if a bigger war breaks out, aliens might help Israel. I think when you said aliens, you could replace it with angels. Others have claimed that aliens, should they really exist, play a bigger role on Earth than many realize. Haim Eshed, former head of the Israel Space Agency, made waves in 2020 by claiming that there exists a galactic federation that both Israel and the US have been dealing with for years. While Eshed has been largely silent on the subject since then, with Geller claiming that he is scared, he's been instructed not to talk, that Eshed has been instructed not to talk. The Israeli mystifier has continued to elaborate his claims of aliens being here with peaceful intentions. For centuries, aliens have been trying to wake us up to our mission to save our planet and evolve as human beings. Look what's happening around the world. Do you know how many nuclear bombs we have waiting to be launched? I want to believe that extraterrestrials are waiting for us to lay down our arms and create a peaceful world. It's more important than ever to connect with these higher beings. It's interesting, dude. Was published in June in J-Post, in a mainstream Israeli newspaper. And I always think when I hear stuff like that, I always think of what the speech that Reagan made at the UN. If
only if we had an alien threat from outside, where we unite. Yeah. I hear you, man. I hear you. Alex Jones screaming about Project Bluebeam and blah blah.
Dude, he's funny. Yesterday he made a video about how there's going to be new diseases and it's coming.
By the way, I posted my brother's video, his explanation of his protocol, right? In the chat there.
Yeah.
And it slipped through.
Nice.
It started getting viewed.
Nice.
And it's like it got viewed and then it was shared by Naomi Wolf.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it got
really?
So it's like at 48,000, right? 48,000 views. And I posted it on Chief Nerd and I posted it at Rogan. Both of them got like in the 40,000s. Right.
It's interesting.
So my brother's video slipped through. Today, I tried to repeat that process with other people posting about Disease X.
Yeah.
Totally throttled.
It's
visibility.
It's hit or miss. It's hit or miss with this thing. Listen, I feel like honestly, I think, I don't know. I hope after the inauguration, this whole thing will change. And
it's not gonna change. I think that Elon Musk is a bad guy. I think that Trump made a deal with him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Elon, he remember, this is a very important thing. I'm not going to keep harping on this, but I think it's important for people to understand. He sabotaged Truth Social.
Who did Trump or
Elon.
Elon, yeah, of course.
Elon Musk sabotaged Truth Social. Truth Social could have been, I think, a truly free speech platform, right? And instead, it ended up being a platform where at least Trump could make a statement without being silenced. It's literally just, if you want to hear what Trump has to say, that's its only value right now.
Yeah.
But it could have been something for everyone. And Elon Musk sabotaged it.
So why did
Okay.
Why did Elon Musk show up to like Bibi's speech in Congress? You know, he was like really sitting there like,
He's gaslighting.
okay.
I believe he's gaslighting. Folks, look, I'm dealing with people in my personal life. They're not like, relationships, but like I'm dealing with villainous type of people
Yeah.
who are gaslighting my family.
Yeah.
Constantly. They're not doing what they're supposed to do for my family.
Yeah.
And they're always coming up with excuses as to why, and delays, and why it's
Yeah.
not, and then now they're starting to twist, and as time goes on, it's easier for them to pull away from their obvious responsibilities. Okay. And I can't go into more detail than that, but
Yeah.
I know when someone's gaslighting.
Yeah.
Okay. So Elon Musk keeps talking about free speech, free speech, free speech. How long has he owned Twitter for? Okay. Has he provided? I have not noticed any change in free speech,
Yeah.
except for a couple of token conservative accounts
Yeah.
who are basically allowed to post whatever they want to post, but they never post anything consequential. They always just state obvious stuff, and they never post any solutions.
Yeah.
So they're allowed to just bitch and moan, and everybody gets to see and then they sell something.
Yeah.
Okay. So he has done nothing for free speech, nothing. I can tell you this. I'm not the only one who is talking about this. Okay. I'm not selling anything. I'm just trying to share a piece of information that anybody who even slightly gets a glimpse of it was like, whoa, it never goes unnoticed if it's allowed to be seen.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just reached 17,000 followers on Twitter, but how many of them actually see my posts?
Dude, I did a shadow ban check, and I said, I wrote basically that I have 3,000, a little over 3,000. I wrote, I'm entirely, I've been engulfed in a shadow ban. Can you please prove me wrong? And I had like the 6 regulars,
Exactly.
and I'm like confirmed.
I call them my all-stars.
Yeah.
Right? So if there weren't like just kind people who remember my brother fondly, and for that reason check in on me and share my content sometimes, there would be nobody seeing anything that I post.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Same thing with me, with like people who focus on my page, because they like my content.
Yeah.
There's literally
every now
one
and then I
guy.
pop
Yeah.
in.
Yeah. You pop into my thing?
No, every now and then, I pop into somebody's head. Like somebody sees something about, disease X.
Yeah.
Zelenko. Oh yeah, Zelenko's brother. I haven't seen him in a while. And then they're like, oh my God, I haven't seen you in weeks. I thought you were off Twitter. I get that like 100 times a day. Why couldn't Elon Musk have fired the people who are censoring everyone?
I think no, can I tell you something? I literally think that there is some kind of FBI backdoor into X, and I think if that's the case, that again, I'm trying to give as much benefit of the doubt as I can.
I don't know why.
If that is the case, then once Kash Patel guts the damn thing, people like you and I, dude, you realize that we have what is it called? We have our own designated FBI people watching our accounts. Maybe there's like one guy watching both of you and me, or maybe one guy for me. Yeah, we have like dance partners. I'm serious. I literally think this.
You fucking son of a bitch. I hope I never run into you. You better hope I never run into you.
Oh, the FBI? Yeah.
Whoever that is.
Yeah.
You're a murderer.
Yeah, you are. Yeah. Well, they probably know they're murderers, and they don't want to. Actually, maybe some of them don't even want to, and they're just being, have the gun pointed at their head. Some guy responded. Oh, I'm looking at the comment section of when you posted your brother's video. Some guy wrote, You don't know what the blank you're talking about. All you're proving is you are an uneducated cultist.
Yeah,
Da, da,
atheist,
da.
the idiot. Blah, blah,
I think
blah.
it's just, I think it's a bot. You wrote to him. I only hope that you continue disregarding everything Zach ever said. His name says it all. The godless atheist.
Read my whole comment, bro. Read it
Yeah,
slowly.
yeah. I only hope that you continue disregarding everything that Dr. Zlenko ever said. You stupid, toxic bag of poop. SHIT. And then this guy wrote, his name says it all. The godless atheist. What a revolting and dangerous mouth he has. Zlenko was amazing. So sad he's gone. And then this guy, you are a stupid, gullible sack of blank. You would get better medical advice from a newborn baby than that supposed doctor. Plus, you wouldn't know good medical advice even if it came to drop to kick you in the face. You gullible cultist. Dude, it like people take time out of their day to like, you know what I'm saying, bro? Like
Nobody takes time out of their day. That's a paid. That's a
paid
bot.
person. Yeah, it's a paid. Yeah.
Nobody. Look. All you got to do is go on like any one of the posts where I post my brothers, or my pinned post. Right, you'll see all the comments. Hundreds of comments, hundreds of people. You saved my life. You saved my whole family's life. You saved my life. You saved my whole family's life. I'll never forget you. You saved my life. I haven't been sick one day since I've been. Hundreds just on one post of people saying that. So it's like the people themselves are saying like, anyway, I don't want to get sidetracked. The point is that Elon Musk, I think he obviously could have taken care of it. Okay, you have to really do a lot. You have to twist yourself into a pretzel to make excuses for him as to why he hadn't done that yet after all these years. He doesn't. He never even. Here's another reason why. If he was really trying to do something like that, he would have made a few posts like, guys, trust me, I understand that a lot of you are censored. I do. I really understand it. And I know that sucks. And I'm working on it. It's really hard to fish all of these guys out. There's a lot of, complex computations and algorithms and blah, blah, blah. It's not as easy as it looks. It's going to take some time. Just be aware that I'm aware. But no, he's not saying anything. He's like, free speech platform, he's fucking full of shit.
Yeah.
People have to stop making excuses for people who don't produce. Okay. He's just a gaslighter. Okay. Yeah. I don't know what his role is, honestly. Like, I'm very upset that he's part of the administration. I was really trying to give him a chance. Really trying to give him a chance. The whole Doge thing. And I like that he, that he was supporting and campaigning for Trump. I was hoping that something would change. But he's really not planning on doing anything about the censorship on X. I'm telling you. Yeah. Look, I'd love to be wrong about it. I would. People tell me in the future, see, you were wrong. You were. Yeah. I would love to say I'm sorry for ever doubting you. I'm sorry. I'd love to be able to say that, but how much time does, guys? You know what I mean? Like, there's only so much that people could lie to themselves about. I don't know what his role is in the Trump administration. It's the main thing that worries me about the upcoming Trump administration is Elon Musk's association with it.
Yeah.
No one is going to follow me on this. No one is. Everybody loves him. Everybody can't wait to lick his asshole. Okay. I've never seen anything. I've never seen the Musk cult is a real cult, by the way. The lovers of Elon Musk
of course.
Is a real cult.
Yeah, there's nothing bad he can do.
MAGA is not a cult. MAGA is just old American Christian ladies who are like, I want to be able to afford groceries, and can you please, my son served the country and he's living on the street. Yeah. Can you help him out? That's MAGA. Yeah. Can you also please not let criminals in to rape and murder our daughters? Okay, that's who MAGA is. Okay, but Muskites, that's a cult.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. And by the way, no one on Twitter who has like a good account, right, where they get to post their stuff and everybody comments, and no one is going to risk saying anything about Elon Musk because they're going to lose the media. The moment you take on Musk, oh, there goes your account. Okay,
I just wrote on Twitter, and I said, I wonder when Elon Musk, I tagged him, will remove the FBI. I tagged the FBI agent assigned to continue shadow banning my account, and then I also tagged the X Doge, the Department of Government Efficiency, and Cash Patel. I guess it's like I guess his page. I don't know if it's Dafka him posting, but yeah, it's actually him. It's his page, I believe. Or commentary, his commentary, whatever. Let's see what happens.
Man, look, like, hey, Elon, if you're listening, he's not listening, but if you're listening, say like this: look, I can't wait to get off X. I really, all I want to do, and you could get rid of me with one tweet.
Yeah.
Just share my brother's 2-minute video about his ssRNA protocol. Okay, everybody will get a chance to see it.
Yeah.
They'll make a decision on whether or not to take it seriously or not, and I will smash my phone against the wall and begin living my actual life. I'd be happy to. I'll be out of your hair. Yeah, I'm speaking. This is what I'm
Dude,
speaking.
can I read something? This is a fresh thing from United States Northern Command in Colorado Springs, Colorado, regarding the drone activity. Okay, Peterson Space Force Base in Colorado. We are aware and monitoring the reports of unauthorized drone flights in the vicinity of military installations in New Jersey, to include Picatinny Arsenal and Naval Weapons Station Earle, E-A-R-L-E. And we refer you to those installations for information on any efforts they may be conducting. Okay. To ensure the safety and security of their personnel and operations. Local law enforcement and the FBI are currently investigating. U.S. Northern Command conducted a deliberate analysis of the events in consultation with other military organizations and interagency partners, and at this time we have not been requested to assist with these events. If these incidents require additional DoD assistance, the Secretary of the Military Department or relevant DoD component head concerned can coordinate with U.S. NORTHCOM for an enhanced or increased response. U.S. NORTHCOM, in conjunction with our interagency partners, will continue to assess further information and is prepared to respond when asked, or should the situation escalate to threaten any DoD installations.
These people, I think Kamala Harris was their instructor.
Yeah.
As to how to make statements.
Yeah.
I can't retain my attention cannot remain on any of these people.
Yeah.
I just can't. My soul can't take. I just know I'm not going to hear anything at all. That there's going to be no permanent or pertinent information for my mind not to collapse. My mind collapses whenever I hear these people speak. I don't understand why they have to make a statement. They said nothing. Can you please extract any information of value from what you just read? I'm sorry to put the pressure on
nothing.
you.
They haven't asked us to do anything, even though we're military. And if something escalates, then we might they might ask us to do something. And if they ask us to do something, we will do something. Something like that.
You have to be a psychopath.
Yeah.
To take the job to release statements like that and have your name associated with it. You gotta enjoy the
like messing
negative
with
effect it has on people's psychology.
Yeah.
Come on. You gotta on some level enjoy it. You gotta, right? Like
of course. This is funny. MMA fighter Colby Covington, he basically said, I hope LeBron, you're a scumbag, and I hope you get locked up in the same cell with P. Diddy and Jay-Z. Well, P. Diddy. Whatever. It's a side thing.
I should probably say something right now. Any of you tuning in for the first time, I don't know. Maybe we get that. Maybe every now and then someone new tunes in and they know nothing about my brother.
Yeah.
Right. Or his protocol. Right. So my brother is Dr. Zelenko, and he was the first one to develop and begin using his protocol to save people's lives during COVID, while everybody else was hiding or just telling people. When I say everybody else, I mean doctors, right? Anybody who knew about a protocol like my brother's was being quiet about it, like McCullough. And Didier Raoult, who was like testing it on his in his institute in Nice, in France. Okay. My brother immediately discovered it, he put it together himself, using logic, began using it with 100% success. I was a witness to it entirely. I saw the whole thing. In fact, I was a better witness to it than he was, because I dealt with the patients much more than he did, because I had to have multiple conversations with every one of them. I lost count at thousands. I don't remember, 2, 3, 4. I don't remember where I lost count. Somewhere over there. And he only treated high risk individuals, older people, people who were very sick, and they all survived, all of them. Okay. And I talked to them when they were sick. I got them their medication, and I talked to them when they all recovered. And some of them would call me multiple times just to have conversations, because they were lonely. I ended up speaking to these people way more than my brother spoke to them. Okay. That's how I know how successful he was. Okay. So my brother felt that this same protocol that he used to treat COVID would be effective against every other virus in the same category. The category is single strand RNA viruses. Okay. COVID is just one of them. The flu, all the flus are also single strand RNA viruses. I'll just let that hang in the air for a second. All of the flus that you've ever heard of are single strand RNA viruses, which means that my brother's protocol treats all the flus. That alone should shake the earth. That alone should shake the earth. Okay. So then it treats RSV, Marburg. And if you do a Google search of single strand RNA viruses, you'll see very, very lengthy list. And you will notice a lot of names you recognize. Why? Because they're always in the news. So far, almost every single virus that they are scaring the public with is almost always a single strand RNA virus. Which means that every virus that they're trying to scare people with, that they're trying to create a pandemic or a pandemic with, my brother's protocol can treat. So his protocol is hydroxychloroquine. This is how he treated 85% of his patients. Hydroxychloroquine, 400 milligrams a day. 50 milligrams of any kind of supplemental zinc. Supermarket zinc tablets, okay? Any kind. And azithromycin, which is an antibiotic, okay? So the azithromycin is 500 milligrams per day for 5 days. Sometimes he would use doxycycline instead of azithromycin. Okay, I don't remember I think it was 100 or 200 milligrams a day, or 100 milligrams a day, 100 milligrams twice a day for 5 to 7 days. I don't recall exactly, but by far he used azithromycin. But I'm told that you can use many different kinds of broad spectrum antibiotics, okay, of which azithromycin is only one, and so is doxycycline. Okay, so that's his protocol. So if you take that at the beginning of symptoms, then that's most likely all that's going to be required to deal with it. If you don't start treating right away and you let your symptoms get worse, then you have to take everything that I just said, plus corticosteroids like prednisone or dexamethasone, which my brother used more often than anything else. And that has to be paired with colchicine, okay, which is a gout medication. But he used it for inflammation reduction together with the dexamethasone. And also he would add occasionally budesonide. And then if that wasn't enough, he would also add a blood thinner. And I'm trying to remember the blood thinner that he used most of the time. But aspirin is a blood thinner, but my brother used another one. Eliquis. He used Eliquis. That was the blood thinner that he preferred. I can't explain to you why he used any of these drugs. I'm just telling you, I've seen him do it over and over again with tons of success with very, very sick people. Okay. He did everything he could to prevent people from going to the hospital. That is a very, very basic outline of his treatment approach, his protocol. And it's most likely what will treat all the viruses that are in the news today. Disease X from the Congo, the lab leaks of the hundreds of vials of of deadly viruses from the lab in Australia, right? And every other thing that they always threaten us with. The monkeys that escaped in South Carolina, right? A couple of weeks ago or whatever, right? So that's probably the most important thing you can hear if you happen to catch us. That's what I'm bitching and moaning about on X, and that's why I'm bitching and moaning that I'm being shadow banned, because I feel my brother's information is important enough to spend a lot of my energy on to let people know. I don't have any other tool to know. If I, you know what I was thinking the other day, by the way? Maybe I shouldn't say this, but it's okay. Nobody watches nobody watches this anyway. So I had this idea of, the associate of my brother, with the planes. I'm not gonna, what I'm talking about, right? Like with the airplanes company, with the airplane company.
Yes.
So, I had, many years ago, I was thinking, remember those little cards that we made, those stickers with my brother's protocol on it that we used to put on gas station pumps?
Yeah.
Right. And like, in like Target restrooms, just for people to see and stuff like that, so I was thinking, make flyers and just drop them out of airplanes. Here's like, just over cities, like all over the world. And so obviously that's not ever going to be in availability. I'm thinking drones. I was thinking, let's figure out how to use drones. We can literally fly drones and just drop literal flyers on my brother's protocol just to give people a chance. Are we the clouds, or is this the cloud conversation? Like, yeah, we'll do it tomorrow.
Yes.
Tomorrow we're
it.
sending the drones.
Listen, man, remember we did the stickers for the mitigation of the...
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Do you want to see something cool, my friend?
No.
Well, there's two things. One, I want to show you the video of...
I feel like anything that I would be considered cool, I probably would have known already. And this is just going to be disappointing.
Well, this is not cool. This is just the guy representative from Jersey.
Okay, he just walked out.
He's just saying that he's fed up about this whole situation. Okay, so this is something else. This is Tom Homan posted this.
Okay, he said something?
No, not about this. Is about the illegal. This is the cartels. The cartels apparently put a hit on a guy from Border Patrol because he did the following to somebody who came over the border. Check this out. Look at this.
The guy seems okay. He just hit by a car.
Well,
oye, tú, pues, ¿de qué madres está hecho ese hombre?
They tried to run the guy over, and now there's a hit on. There's like a cartel basically put a hit on this Border Patrol guy in retaliation for this. Like
how are they going to track down the Border Patrol guy who did this?
They have their methods. I mean, oh, here's another guy threatening people on the subway. Another similar guy to the guy that got choked out.
Yeah,
dude, like people say, I've had people saying, well, yeah, this always happens on the train. It doesn't mean you have to attack the guy. Like, there's always guys threatening people on the train. Is that normal?
Hey, I don't want to hear about the idiots that you speak to who say stupid things to you. Okay, I think we've established that, Greg.
Yes.
You don't mention them here anymore. Not their statements nor their obnoxious, way of speaking.
Yeah.
Please try to preserve my my stress levels. Okay. God, man. Anyway, yeah. So that's what's been going on. Did we skip last week?
No, we didn't. We had an episode last week.
We had an episode, right? Okay.
Yeah.
It's starting to get difficult to keep track of time. Yeah, man. So again, the drones, we'll see what happens. Look, if this is the aliens, they're fucking annoying. It's like shit will get off the pot. I'm sorry about my language, but
yeah. No, listen, dude. Finally, what's her
how we feel here,
Mr. Frank? Finally, what's her name? Nancy Mace said what I've been saying to you for 2 years already. I want to see a what did she use the word?
Habeas corpus. Habeas
Well,
corpus.
yeah, no, she said like a something, like a body on a gurney. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I still wouldn't believe that.
What if somebody brought that out into like Lou Lozano brought that out into Congress?
Yeah,
And
because
presented
then I'd be forced. I'd be like, all right, so look, like I explained to you many times, I'm 95% don't believe anything that I hear on the news, right? I leave 5% for the possibility that it's real.
Mm-hmm.
To me, the entertainment industry and the government and corporate America are all one entity.
Yeah.
But how, they showed us E.T. in 1980. That was the first movie I went to see when I was 3 years old. 84. I went to see E.T. in upstate New York. This guy Valik took me to see it, and my friend of my parents. Okay. And it was one of those amazing experiences of my life. And they brought out they brought this puppet to life. And it was amazing. Okay. They did that in 83. They can't wheel out some kind of, what I mean? Like,
can I read something from OSCINT Defender that he wrote that I guess this is his opinion, I don't know, or he's like getting this from somewhere.
Sure.
After erroneous comments were made surrounding reports of an Iranian mothership off the east coast of the United States during an ongoing Pentagon presser, Deputy Pentagon Press Secretary Singh has said that there isn't any so-called mothership launching drones towards the United States. The mothership in question is actually the new Iranian drone and helicopter carrier, the Iris Shahid Bagheri, which just conducted sea trials merely days ago, and it's highly unlikely she would conduct such a voyage at this time. So he's basically saying it's not that thing. And he goes, and this guy responds, and you believe them? There's all these people like the Pentagon never lies. Ask them where $3 trillion went.
3 trillion, way more. Way
Yeah,
more
way
than
more than that. No, so there's another post. He actually shows here. Hey, what do you know? Both Iranian drone carriers are in the anchorage in Bandar Abbas as of December 8th. Even on low, meaning they're not anywhere near us. Even on low res, you can see the ugliness of the Bagheri. It's like this ugly. As it says, there's no Iranian drone mothership off the east coast of the United States per the United States. Then it's a submarine, whatever it is. It's time to show our strength. Somebody responding. So it is them or it's not.
It's not, folks. It's not Iranian. It's not. It's some kind of Lockheed Martin.
It's kind of like when they blame the Iranians for shooting Trump.
McDonnell Douglas. Something. Yeah. Is that even is that still like a
McDonnell Douglas?
Yeah, that's still just
no. McDonald's Douglas. No.
Yeah.
McDonnell Douglas? No, it used to be a thing. Was a company. It got phased out.
Northrop Grumman, whatever.
Northrop Grumman, yeah.
Some kind of Northrop Grumman.
Yeah.
Raytheon.
Yeah.
Freaking Lockheed Martin Skunk Works bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they're just messing with us because they're dicks. And it's a mix of drones. Right, they put everything up there, like crappy drones from Walmart. They put up, very advanced drones that have batteries that you can put.
It's like send them the kitchen sink.
They sent the kitchen sink, and they're also testing out holographic technology. Projections and all that shit.
Here, look at check this out. Look at this. Some guy posted here. If swarms of large mysterious drones, I can't. We're flying around northern New Jersey day after day. The FAA would have grounded or at least paused flights in and out of Newark Airport. But they have, dude. I was looking at the sky. There's like planes, and then there's these like planes all over the place. But they haven't. Check out the flight radar below. Business as usual.
This green guy is a nut, by the way.
Oh, Green Street.
Yeah.
But it's true. They would have grounded all flights, man. They would have grounded all flipping flights. Everything would have been done.
Yeah, the pilots would refuse to show up for work. They're like, "I'm sorry, I'm not going up there.
I'm not flying around this whatever the hell this crap is." I want to hear what this guy has to say. This congressman from Jersey. His name is Bergen.
I want to tell you. All right, then
it's quick. It's quick. 2.5 minutes.
All right, so you're here today. You were just inside. You walked out. Why? I walked out because it was worthless. It was the biggest amateur hour presentation I've ever seen.
I love this
about
guy, by the way. He's very
okay?
funny.
It was ridiculous. There were no answers. Every question that was asked by a member of the state legislature, great questions, no answers, no resolution. They don't know where the drones are coming from. They don't know who's doing it. They don't know why they're doing it, but they say there's no credible threat. It was annoying to be there. I drove 2 hours to be here today, spent an hour in there. I got to drive 2 hours back. The biggest waste of 5 hours in my entire life.
So why do you think they called this meeting?
No idea. Why would you call a meeting to tell people you don't know anything? I have no idea. And then when the legislators would ask questions, there were no answers. Here's the most frustrating part. The colonel of the state police said that he had a helicopter of his flying over above one of these drones, a 6-foot drone or something, I can't remember exactly what he said. And he felt unsafe for his helicopter, so he just let it go. Just let it go. Where'd it go? Who knows? You know, didn't want to follow it because he didn't feel safe.
So he's unsafe in the helicopter, but people are flying planes.
Is that not the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard? I mean, honestly.
Do they have any idea where these drones are originating?
No, they don't. They would. Maybe if they followed that sucker to when it landed, they would know, but they don't. This is a complete lack of effort, in my opinion, on trying to figure this out. This is not about ability. We have the technology, we have the people, we have the training, we have the resources, we have the money. It's just a lack of effort. I mean,
Why?
I don't know. They should be saying, you know what they should have done today with productive use of our time, if they didn't know anything? Come in there and say, hey, legislators, we don't know anything. But if you get us these 10 things, do these 10 things for us, and the governor calls in this kind of action, we can figure it out. Will you help us? And then we would have helped them. But instead it was just excuse after excuse, and we know nothing. It was infuriating, and I got up and I walked out.
You've been in the service, right?
Yeah, I was an attack helicopter pilot, Apache helicopter pilot in the Army, and I helped stand up the initial unmanned aircraft training battalion in the aviation sector of the Army. So I know a little bit about what I'm talking about, and these guys are not doing the job they need to do to figure out what's going on, and that is the Department of Homeland Security, the FBI, and the state police.
And they're saying no threat to Americans.
They're saying no threat, but how the hell do they know? They don't know anything. They don't know what it is. They don't know where it come from. They don't know nothing. When I walked in here today, I was actually pretty calm. I was excited to be here to find out a couple things. I thought they'd be like, hey, listen, it's FedEx, trying to figure it out. But instead, I got the most ridiculous amateur hour briefing I've ever sat through.
Not amateur, my Jersey.
Who's that guy again? He's a state representative?
He's from Jersey, Brian Bergen.
He's a guy from Jersey named Brian Bergen.
Yes, it's very funny.
Who is he?
But he doesn't represent. He drove. If he's saying he drove 2.5 hours, he's probably from South. He's a Republican guy from probably South Jersey, 25th district.
No, but what is his position in government?
He's from. He's a rep from Jersey. He's in Congress, congressman.
He's a federal congressman.
He represents New Jersey, but he's in DC.
Okay, no, because because you have state representatives.
No.
Federal representative.
He is from and he represents Morris County, which is like Boonton.
Yeah, I know Morris County. That's where the yeshiva is.
Madison, Randolph, all this kind of thing. Morristown, West Milford.
Yeah.
He represents this thing. He sounds very Jersey guy. And he's from Denville. It's funny. He's just like, I drove all the way here and but I think, where was his hearing? I mean, it sounds like it was in DC, but interesting. Like, he was driving like 100 miles an hour. Takes 4 hours to get there, but I don't know if interesting. Wow, Nancy Pelosi got heckled for 2 minutes straight at the 92nd Street Y.
Why would she even try to make an appearance anywhere?
I don't know, but I guess she thought that she would have a friendly audience in the 92nd Street Y, in the city, but I guess even the Jews up there are like, yo, we're done with you guys.
Jews? Where?
It's a 92nd, it's a 92nd, wait, what? Yeah, this is 92nd Street Y.
What does that have to do with Jews?
The 92nd Street Y is a Jewish organization. It's like a Jewish cultural.
The Y. I thought it was a YMCA.
It's also that, and it's also here. It's a Culture Community Center located in the Upper East Side of Manhattan. It was the Young Men's Hebrew Association. So basically, it's like gym, but also
it's a YMHA.
It was at YMHA, but also there's like events there, and there's a shul there. There's all different things there. They have different. So they invite. They had like Dershowitz there.
let me give you a metaphor.
Mhm.
Think back to early 90s Cindy Crawford.
Mhm.
Take a moment. Remember what she looked like.
Yes.
Let's
Even
show
with-
the folks at home.
Even with the mole, but we didn't care about her mole.
No, the mole on her, that was a beauty mark. It's not a mole. Can you bring her up?
1
Cindy
second.
Crawford, 1992, whatever, something like that.
1 second. It's been explained to us
What's happening? You're ruining my
that
metaphor.
these no. This guy said I'm not being shadow banned. These shadow ban test websites are complete BS.
I don't use them anymore.
They
I
don't work.
Yeah, because I don't use them. I'm just going by what people tell me, and I can tell what my visibility is.
Results.
Like for instance, look, somebody just commented. I'll show here this lady, and I get this. This is just one example of stuff I get all the time. Hang on, I'll show you. Hey, Rafi. Hey, beautiful. Hang on. Now it's buffering. You heard that? He's like buffer.
Yeah.
Sweet boy.
Why is he calling
Okay.
me? Why is he calling me? What is it called?
Yeah. So okay. So this lady who's been following me for a while. She's one of the all stars. AZ Desert Lady. That's her. That's her Twitter profile. She writes, "I just discovered that I have unfollowed you at least 3 times since yesterday." Meaning she didn't. Like, they won't let her continue following me. And they've done that to me. They won't let me follow people. Meaning I follow someone and then I come back. And I follow very few people. Maybe like 2 or 3 a day or something like that. And then I come back and I see that I'm not following them. And also, they never allow my likes to stick. Ever. Not one like. I don't need those Twitter sites, the shadow ban things to tell me that I'm being messed with.
Yeah.
It's annoying, and I'm embarrassed to say the word Twitter as often as I do.
Yeah.
I used to make fun of people who go on Twitter, but I can't figure out a better way to get the word out about my brother's protocol. Okay, so I say Twitter all the time, like a fruitcake. Okay, it's a fruitcake thing to say. Twitter. Well, I was on Twitter today. So embarrassed. But anyway, can you show the folks early 90s Cindy Crawford for a second?
Yeah.
It's important. They need to understand.
Yeah.
By the way, like how black my beard is. Look what she did to me.
Early 90s Cindy Crawford would probably be this lady right here. This situation. Pepsi.
So if you look at this situation, right? Maybe make it a bigger picture.
Yeah. Oh, 1 second. Women's health. That's fine.
Bro, I don't know why you can't click on a picture.
There you
Any
go.
picture. Yeah. So if this situation right here, this early 90s Cindy Crawford, right? She called you and said, she contacted you, on Facebook or on Twitter or something like that, or she texted you. She's like, you want to meet up, right? And then, so what would you think? You'd be like, am I getting mugged?
It's a bot,
right? So that's how I feel about this whole UAP thing, the drones. I'm not going to be made a fool out of.
Yes.
Okay. It's like getting a text from early 90s Cindy Crawford. Okay, saying, "Come, let's do Netflix to chill." All right.
Yeah.
You just can't. You wanna pretend like there's the slightest shred that could ever happen, right? But come on, you're not only are you getting mugged, you're getting organ harvested. It's an organ harvesting operation. Okay, you're gonna wake up with a missing kidney and 3/4 of your liver missing. Okay, that's how I feel about this whole drone situation, UAP thing. I'm not gonna be taking anybody's bullshit. Okay, they got to show up.
Yeah. Yeah.
They could have showed up to Thanksgiving dinner. That would have been something. spoken to the family.
I want to show to this guy is such a schmuck because the one that said I'm not shadow banned because he has even more followers, and then I go on his profile and I see the same amount of what is it called? I see the same amount of like responses to his posts. So I tell him, he writes to me, you're not shadow banned, sweetheart. I know this guy. I met him in person. And I'm like, first of all, do we know each other? Why are you calling me sweetheart? You know, we've met once in person. I'm like, I'm like, by the way, you're also shadow banned, sweetheart. Yeah, I'm gonna do another
Who is this guy? Like,
he's the brother, you know, remember that guy Mostovsky, the guy that went into the Capitol? He's his brother.
I have no idea.
This guy here. There was a guy, remember one of the guys like that went into the Capitol on January 6th? So this guy, Aaron Mostovsky, you remember this guy. I know him from, he did something at Rage a couple of times. This guy. So he went into the. So this guy also went into January. So he's a frum guy from Brooklyn.
He doesn't talk like a frum guy.
What do you mean? No, this is his brother. No, this is his brother. This is his brother.
Okay.
His brother, I met his brother once also, and his brother just posted at me, "You're not shadow banned, sweetheart." It's this guy's brother. Look, it's just weird. People are weird.
Again, I'll say the reason why I think that I know that I'm shadow banned is because people message me saying, "Oh, have you been on Twitter lately?"
Yeah.
Like people send me messages, right? And I'm like, "Yeah, I've been here the whole time." They're like, "Oh my God, I never see your posts.
Yeah.
I thought you were kicked off." Or and then there are people who message me like, they won't let me follow you. And this other person yesterday, she's like, "I've been trying to share your post about your brother. They won't let me. I've tried 3 times. They just literally won't. It just won't work."
Yeah.
So I don't need those stupid, Twitter shadow ban websites. Anyway, whatever. Let's move on from this topic.
Yeah. Sorry. It's just like, I don't like being gaslit. You know, it's just like, speaking of gaslighting. Whatever.
Folks,
Whatever.
I'm using this term, but I fully understood it for many, many years. Let me tell you, I only recently finally understood what it meant.
You know what the most frustrating thing was? It was like the most ridiculous thing. Whatever. Somebody I dated recently, I told her, I'm like, "You're gaslighting me." She's like, "I don't even know what that means." And I'm like we couldn't proceed in the argument because she didn't understand what I was even saying. And I'm like, "Are you gaslighting me that you don't know what gaslighting is?"
Folks, here's what gaslighting is. Somebody comes up to you and slaps the shit out of you.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Slaps the taste out of your mouth.
Yeah.
And you're like, you hit me. And they're like, "What? No, I didn't." Like, "What do you mean? I just so you hit me. I still feel the sting of the slap on my face." He goes, "I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't do anything."
Yeah.
Like, I feel it. Goes, "Oh my God, you're so sensitive. You think everything, oh, you probably like the wind did something to you, and all of a sudden you feel like
Yeah.
That's what gaslighting is. Okay, that's what gaslighting is, where a person who's clearly guilty is pretending like they did not do what they did.
A friend of mine
and trying to make you feel crazy for even saying it.
Well, a friend of mine was jokingly gaslighting me last night because I went to this event and it was a cocktail hour, so I had a glass of wine, and he literally kept bumping into me, but like in a way that's like made it look like it wasn't him, and like I spilled white wine all over my suit, like a little bit, you know. And then another guy came, and then like he like shook his hand, but he did it in a way that like he's my friend, like I know him for like years, so I know he's messing with me, and I'm like, "Dude, can you?" He's like, "What? It was him. It was him." I'm like, "Stop making sudden movements." And then he goes to me, you're just like you're like very he's like, "You're very touchy." I'm like, "Stop making sudden movements, man." This is the second time you made me spill my drink on myself. He's also very clumsy. Yeah. It's just funny. Whatever. I knew he was like messing with me. Like, whatever. It was still like infuriating.
Sorry, Greg.
Yes.
So entertained.
Why
am I mean to you? Because I can be.
We have all the hallmarks of a full-blown UFO incident on our hands in New Jersey.
Oh, who's saying this?
Sagar and Jetty. Who was this guy?
I don't know who he is.
Co-host of Breaking Points with Crystal. Can I ask you a question? I see all of these people on Twitter who have podcasts. I never heard of them in my life. And then I click on them and they have like all these followers and they have this podcast that apparently all these people follow. Exactly. Oh, okay, there we go. That's this girl. What's her face? Crystal. Yeah, they're in DC.
Look at his McLaren F. Look at his McLaren.
McLaren? Oh, that's cool. Kids have cool toys today.
Yeah,
cool.
this car zips. I'm telling
Well,
you.
we had cool toys back then, and like we only had like 2 of them.
No, our toys were way better. Like the toys are total crap. I'm very disappointed with the toys that kids have today. They're very bad, very very bad. And it's because they're made in China. China.
Yeah.
Can you do the Trump China?
Yeah.
Is that good? China.
That's the only one I can't do.
Yeah.
A New Jersey drone is being chased by a police helicopter and disappears right in front of it. We need answers. This actually is a legit video. Unbelievable, man. I don't know. Can we watch this funny video from I want to watch this again. We've seen this before. Jim Brewer talking about the vaxxers during the pandemic, during COVID. So I want to watch.
Is it pertinent? Okay.
It's just like whatever. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I just like his facial expressions.
And then the news cockatoos come out.
Watch the news. Watch the news.
Dude, he's like, I think he's second only to like Jim Carrey with this stuff.
Trust the experts. Trust the experts. Trust the science. Trust the science. CDC. Dr. Fauci. Mask on, mask off. 2 shots, 1 shot. Mask on, 2 masks. Comply.
6 foot safe. Do what you are told. It is for your safety. I've never seen anything like this in my life. Well, the vaccinators, you were real cocky a couple months ago. You got vaccinated. Got my 2nd shot April 19th. I can't get sick from the corona. I'm vaccinated. See this bucket of virus? I'm vaccinated. I'll even lick metal. I'm not afraid of anything. I don't have to wear a mask. People vaccinated are getting sick. What? You need a new booster. What? Who wants a shot? Who wants to see a ball game? Wave your flipper. That's for you. Go see the ball game. Who wants to work again? That's for you. Who wants their kids educated? What's in the shot? It's safe. Don't worry. Don't worry. Go ahead, get it.
Dude, at some point I started feeling like I'm watching, not a comedy
That was
film, but
great. That was actually great.
It was great, but like I'm, towards the end I'm like I'm watching like some sort of a horror documentary. not a comedy stand-up thing.
It's also going to be sad when I don't want to talk about it.
Whatever. Yeah, we shouldn't even say it.
By the way,
yes,
I guess we should talk about Syria for a little bit.
Yeah, we could. Yeah.
I'm the one who wants to veer away from discussing the hell of the Middle East.
Yeah.
It's the pit of hell. It is the gate of hell.
Yeah.
The Middle East in general is the gate of hell. The Islamic world. I'm not saying everybody who in that world is a demon, right? There's good people there. There's a lot of regular good people there. We're just born into that part of the world, right?
Yeah.
Not their fault. But it's hell. They're born into hell's anus. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Everything has to go away from that. The earth cannot proceed while the Middle East exists as it is. It is where all the demons of the ancient past, the nightmare monsters of everything we've ever read about and fear and horror that they make movies about as if it's from the ancient past is there and much worse. In 2024, in the nearly 2025 Earth, right? 2025 Earth, you still have the horrors of the ancient world, all the evil demon garbage beings that exist and are running amok in those places. Honestly, if I could easily identify all the good people that live there who just want to escape, I'd teleport them out if I could. But man, what a place to just erase.
Yeah. Listen, I mean, it's a part of it belongs to Israel. According to the Torah.
I'm talking about the
entities,
Muslim world.
Oh yeah,
and,
I get it.
And the animals.
Yeah.
Why do I call them animals? Animals are. It's not fair to animals. It's not fair to animals.
Yeah.
The stuff that they're showing from the prison. I don't want to show any of this on the show, but the footage from the prisons in Syria. The stuff that they're doing right now to Assad. Loyalists, right?
Yeah.
People walking and cheering and people.
Yeah. Well, listen, I mean, I'm not a fan of either entities. Assad locked up, secret, they can't even get to them. There's secret dungeons that he locked people up in that they can't even get to. They have cameras. They could see the people or whatever's there. They don't even know how to, they basically have to get these Assad guys to show them all the locations and the codes of how to even get to these places. I'm telling you, I mean, these entities are both. Listen, that's why we have to take.
They're jinn. I think they're jinn.
Yeah, no, they are.
They're not human beings. They can't be
not.
human beings.
They're not. But listen, that's why we have to take control. At least make a bigger buffer zone for ourselves. That's why we have to tell France to go suck a big fat one when they're telling us to pull back from wherever we went just now. We have to control that area. Literally extend the Golan, basically, and we have to take control of South Lebanon, and then just settle it and annex it and settle it, and it's ours. Thank you very much, and Gaza too.
To boil down what you're saying, folks, the Bible. When I say Bible, I'm obviously I'm not including any of the Christian gospel. I'm talking about the Hebrew scripture, right, what we call Tanakh, right? And and the traditional Jewish commentary, right?
Yeah.
It says that evil must be destroyed.
Yeah.
It cannot be tolerated. By evil, what that means is if you come across, men abusing a woman, physically harming her, you kill them. Or a child being harmed or abused, you can't walk by and allow that to continue existing.
Yeah.
You gotta evil, violent people, right? Who prove that they're violent, who demonstrate proudly their intent to be violent and carry out violent acts. Those people need to die. They need to, and they don't need to, die. They don't need to be tortured to death. They just need to be removed from the earth. As humanely as possible, but They cannot share the world with regular, good, normal people. Demons are not allowed to walk the earth with us. Okay? And that's a biblical value. That's a value from the Tanakh. Okay? Modern liberal values are all about tolerating the existence of these people and allowing them to commit their acts with impunity. That's why Western civilization is evil. That's why, because it allows that. That's the specific reason why. That's the main thing that's wrong with Western civilization, is that it tolerates it, it allows it to exist.
Yeah.
The Bible says you can't tolerate the existence of people like this, people who harm children, people who harm women, even people who harm men, right? People who commit violence.
Yeah.
Must not be allowed to exist. Violent cultures that celebrate. Folks, right now, the other day, they were dragging an Assad loyalist. Right? I'm talking about Arabs doing stuff to Arabs. They were dragging a guy with a car down the street. Like he was getting like sanded down by the street. His body was being, they didn't even bother killing him. That's how they decided to kill him. And there's children walking and as if this is the Thanksgiving Day parade. God is not allowing us to tolerate the existence of cultures like this. They're begging to die, begging to be eliminated. Yeah. They are suffering too. Evil on that level is asking to be killed. Asking, can you please, in order to really drive this point home, there's a great scene in a movie from the 80s, of course, from the 80s. The movie is called The Hitcher. And it stars Rutger Hauer. You remember the actor Rutger Hauer?
Yeah.
Blade Runner, right?
So what's the scene?
So he's a serial killer, and he is literally just out of control. Bloodlust.
He's like hitchhiking. Oh, we've seen this movie.
Yeah, and he can't stop.
Yeah.
But for some reason, he keeps bumping into this young guy who's played by C. Thomas Howell. Thomas Powell or C. Thomas Howell.
Yeah.
Okay. Who he's messing with him. He doesn't kill him. He just, C. Thomas Powell is like trying to warn people, right? But this guy, he gets to the police station first, kills all the cops, and C. Thomas Powell comes in and discovers all the dead cops who he was about to seek help from. So you think that this guy,
which scene is this?
I'm telling you in a second. Yeah. So you think he's just messing with him, right? But in the end of the movie, towards the end, you realize that he's hoping that this kid will stop him. Mm-hmm. He's hoping that the kid will kill him because he's like begging. He's like, please, somebody kill me, please. I can't stop.
Yeah.
So the scene in the truck, with the truck. See if you do YouTube.
Here we go. Truck scene. There we go.
Truck scene. Yeah. This scene devastated me because of how much I love Jennifer Jason Leigh. Or, when I was a kid. He asked to speak to him. Can we explain what's going on first?
Sure. Okay. So
he tied the girl, one part of her he tied to this compartment of the driving part of the truck, where the engine is, right? Where the driver is.
Okay.
And the other part he tied to some kind of immovable object. Okay. Very heavy, right? So so all he has to do is step on the gas and just rip her apart.
Yeah.
And so the cops are negotiating with him to stop, and he asked to send this kid in.
Yeah.
Okay, now you understand what's happening.
Got it. Can I play it?
Yeah.
She's sweet. gun is loaded. Go for it. Go ahead, pick it up. Tell you what, I'll let you hold the gun on me before I do anything. They'll catch you. Yeah, sure. So what? Pick up the gun! Put it in my face. Right there. That's good. You know what to do. Now do it. Squeeze the trigger. She'll die. God. You useless waste.
I'm not even gonna ask. Does he end up like?
No, she died. He couldn't do it.
Oh.
So, that's one of those that's one of those movies when I was like 11 watching on cable in the middle of the night on Showtime or Cinemax or something like that. It was because I think it came out in like 85. I was like 4 years old when it came out, but I saw it when I was like 11 or something like that, 10. I was just like mesmerized. She was so beautiful in that movie, Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Yeah.
And as an 11-year-old kid, I'm like, oh my God. And then I wanted to kill C. Thomas Howell, the actor, not the character. I feel like my father when he sees Jason Alexander, he's like, I kill him, I hate him. Like, why? He hits Pretty Woman, because
wait, who did he hit?
He slapped Julia Roberts, and my father can't stand the sight of her.
Wait, in what movie?
In Pretty Woman.
Oh, Pretty Woman.
The famous movie Pretty Woman with.
Sorry, you cut out for a second when you said that the first time.
I'm sorry. Yeah, the movie Pretty Woman with Richard Gere and Julia Roberts.
Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah.
And Jason Alexander, he slapped her in the movie, right? He played. There was a scene where he slapped her.
There's a video of Alexander on the podcast says how women hated him after that.
My father hates him to this day.
Hated him because of a role.
Alone. Yeah, for that reason alone.
Maybe I'll here. This is like a 2-minute clip. I want to.
No, I don't want to watch it, please. My point.
No, not the clip of this thing, but the clip of him talking.
Wait, but let me just get through because I'm trying to make a serious point here. Unless you want to run away from it, which I'll allow. But I wanted to kill C. Thomas Howell for even playing a role of somebody who would do that.
Yeah,
because that's liberal. That's the modern world. That's who they are. Do you understand? Except for the fact that, it's not exactly a perfect metaphor because they're doing it on purpose. He was just scared. Right? But both bother me. Obviously, the people doing it on purpose are way worse, but both bother me. And so so Rutger Hauer, right? That's like the Muslim Islamist, communist fascist maniacs who are just, they can't stop doing their evil. They're demonically possessed ghouls who any aspect of them that's human, that's left in there, or if it ever was, is begging to be killed. Like, please free us from the demon that's making us, flay people. So that's what I'm saying. And, there's that scene and the scene in the Point Break are the two perfect scenes that exemplify this mindset that evil is begging to be destroyed. It's begging to be destroyed. It can't control itself. Where do you remember that scene where, can we show the scene again? I think we showed it like recently, where Keanu Reeves jumps out of the plane without a parachute. Point Break. Let's throw some, let's say hi to Keanu. He's cool, right? I'm told he's the one Hollywood guy that's not bad or whatever. Mr. Producer, go.
You're sharing a
That's not it's not the whole scene. It's not the part. We're not going to show the part of the scene. So, because it's the real scene is a little bit longer.
Which? Okay. This one.
This is it's not the.
This thing. This whole thing.
Yeah, we'll skip to the towards the end.
So we
Yeah, scroll. I'll tell you, keep scrolling. Keep scrolling. It's closer to the end.
The life you saved made me your own.
I mean, there was a shorter version of the scene that I just started.
That's not. But I saw. Okay, but I saw that it wasn't going to show the part of the scene that I was. Okay, so so check it out.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. This is not. No, this is not this. This is an earlier skydiving. Yeah. Yeah, it's an earlier scene.
This is it. No, this is not it.
No.
Hold on. All right. Point Break. 1 second. I got it. Point Break ending.
It's a very dramatic scene. I think it helps people understand the point.
Point Break, no parachute. Yeah, there we go.
But it's kind of, it's longer than a minute. Like,
this one's up. Hey, go.
Yeah, there he goes. He jumped out. So him jumping out without a parachute, that's not the part that I'm focusing on. It's this part coming up.
What? Pull the chute, Bodie! You are crazy! Pull the fucking chute! Why don't you pull it? No games, Bodie! Pull the cord now! Nah, you pull it! Go ahead, Johnny, pull it! You gotta drop the gun, right? If you use your other hand,
watch.
What are you gonna hold on with? Pull it right now! Or I blow your fucking head off and pull it myself! The only way it's gonna happen, my friend. Do it! I swear to God, I will! Do it, man! Do it or you're gonna die, Johnny! 6 seconds! We're gonna be meat waffles! 5! 4! You fucking crazy! 3! Pull it! Pull it! 1! Shit!
All right, that's it.
Okay.
So that's evil. Evil is Patrick Swayze looking at you in the face, saying, "You got to pull the trigger. You got to. That's the only way That's the only way that you're gonna get the bad guy. That's the only way you're gonna stop it. Because I'm not gonna stop. You got to kill me. You got to kill me. That's evil is begging to be destroyed. That's the Middle East. That's the current form of Islam.
So the question the question is, man, I understand why, obviously, because we mentioned it's a tracher in the beginning of the program, why, all these fruitcakes wouldn't want, let's say, Israel to do that, or the, people or the West. But the question is why normal people are not asking for that to happen. Normal people who know what should happen Like, dude, there's a lot of people like you and me and other people that I see on, pro-Israel people who agree with us, who understand now that, Hamas has to be destroyed, that Iran has to be destroyed, all these people, I call them the everything changed after October 7th people, the people who weren't calling for that before, but even now are, right? So calling for the same things that you and I have been calling for years, right? But some mysterious force is stopping them from, storming the Bastille. Some mysterious force is stopping them from, you know, realizing that, hey, maybe there's some government entities in Israel or in America. For sure in America, maybe they realize it, but in Israel, it's almost like these pro-Israel people like that are in America, right? If I come up to most of them and I tell them, hey, you guys, Bibi, he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing, or he's under the influence of foreign powers, and then they'll say to me, well, he's under pressure. It's a lot of pressure. We don't know what it's like to be in his position. These are right-wing, so-called pro-Israel people, who agree with you and me on what has to be done. And I tell them, guys, we should be literally just storming the halls of power of Israel and all of these places and all of these, embassies of Israel, let's say in America, and demanding that literally, like I don't understand why, for example, like right-wing accounts, all these so-called Israel advocacy accounts, like right-wing ones, serious ones, are not coming out and saying literally every day, not we just have to destroy Hamas, not we just have to destroy Hezbollah. Yeah, it's understood that we have to, but what they're not saying is there's a few of them, but not most of them are not saying this, that we have to literally settle Gaza, we have to settle the south of Lebanon, and we have to recapture, this part of Syria and settle, live there, live, not military occupation. I have a friend who, I don't agree with him on all things, but he says the Israelis are not the Israelis in Judea and Samaria are not the Americans in Afghanistan. We're not supposed to be occupying that place militarily because if we settle that place and we annex that place, we won't need to. We will just have like a population there, just like we have population in any other part of Israel where there isn't army all the time, patrolling because of Arabs, because of like, wolves, Arab wolves walking around, shechting sheep, God forbid. This is what we should be doing, and this is what we should be saying. So if I come up to these people and I say to them, well, that's up for the Israeli government to decide, but what are we, I have friends, what are we going to do with all these Arabs? I just want to say something, dude. Let me say this. You know how like in the 67 war when we were attacked, right? We didn't think, or there were people asking the question, how are we going to do X? How are we going to do Y? How are we going to do Z? And what happened? We did what we needed to do, right? And then God took care of the rest. So my answer to the people who asked that stupid question, what are we going to do with all these Arabs? My answer is, let's do what we need to do, and God will take care of the rest. If you want a practical answer, that's not a emuna answer, emuna, what I like to call emuna cookies. The practical answer is, why everybody's asking the question, why haven't Egypt taken in the Palestinians of Gaza? Why hasn't Saudi taken in a certain tribe of, because all these people, they're all like tribes from Saudi, they're all tribes from Yemen, Palestinians, from Egypt, from Iraq, from Syria, from Lebanon. There was a time when all these Arabs, they call themselves Syrian, not Palestinian. We want to be part of Syria, part of Damascus. So what's the reason? The reason is, as we say in Russian, im просто не горит. No one has forced them yet. When the situation, what we call the matzav, forces them, like little good boys and girls, Egypt will take some of them, Saudi will take some of them, Lebanon will take some of them, Syria will take some of them, Iraq will take them, Jordan, maybe we'll take Jordan back because Jordan's ours too, and all the rest of it. Maybe even like bordering countries that border Iran from other sides will take them. Uzbekistan, the people that scream free Palestine. The Uzbekis and the there's like people in Turkmenistan and Tajikistan who bum rushed or in the the Gorsky, the not Gorsky, the Chechens.
Dagestani.
In the Dagestanis, maybe they'll take them in. They're wonderful friends that they love so much. Free Palestine, right?
Yeah.
Folks, there's so much effing land, quote unquote, in the Muslim Ummah countries. There are so many people that can take in their brothers and sisters, their supposed brothers and sisters. They can do what's called hesed for them. They love doing hesed. They love doing, being generous, right? They love generosity. So here you go. You can be generous with your little friends. With Somalia can take them in. Sudan can take them in. Or, Algeria, Morocco, these Moroccan soccer players that go free Palestine in the field with their flags. Morocco, Algeria, what's another country over there? Libya. Dude, as if there's no countries when forced would not take in even one Palestinian. They would, folks, to answer your question practically. So let's do what we need to do. Don't worry about it. Okay? Really don't worry about it. God will sort it out. He will. Just got to trust him. I dropped my mic. Thank you.
Mic drop. Let's let it remain drop for a minute for extra effect. Okay. I think in more detail.
But my original question was, what is stopping these people from so-called right-wing accounts from just getting upset? From getting upset. Why are most people just kind of like, there's a limit to what they will go to stop evil.
Before I get into that, and that discussion has causes me a lot of anxiety because it's difficult and frustrating to explain.
Yeah.
But the thing you're talking about of where would the Arabs go, right? The easiest thing is to bribe them to leave. That's most likely the most effective, the most accessible. Just give them a lot of money and give them a chance to emigrate to wherever they want. Okay, it's worth it. It's worth it because you don't have to kill them, right? You give them money and they leave. That will probably take care of 60% of the population. They'll leave. They'll go, and stay with family. They'll have a good amount of money to start, to buy a house and to buy some land or to start a business or something like that, and they'll just bounce. All right, that's what's going to happen for sure. Okay, if you don't have like a Hamas that's literally preventing people from escaping or something like that, then they'll just leave. They don't, Okay, for the holdouts, they'll be transported. Okay, they'll just be transported. They'll be forcibly transported to Arab territory. So let's say for instance Egypt, right? Israel will have to make an incursion into the Egyptian border, for instance, right? Deep into the Egyptian border in the Sinai Desert or whatever, okay, and drop these people off. Set up an actual refugee camp for them with tents and make it as comfortable as humanly possible.
Sir, just 1 second. They have these camps in the middle of the desert in Saudi Arabia already. It's not for no one. Yeah, go on.
I know. So I'm just saying it's like that, right?
Yeah.
And literally, and leave the people there and let Egyptians deal with their own people. We drop off we're taking them home. Okay, if you really want to take Arabs home, take them to Saudi Arabia and Yemen. That's where they're from. That's where Arabs are from, folks. They're not from the whole Middle East and from North Africa.
Correct. They're from the peninsula.
They're from the boot of Saudi Arabia, the lower part, not even the whole Saudi Arabia.
Can I give the rundown of just they're from there, and then when the caliphates conquered the whole Middle East, they spread out to what's is it today Iraq, Jordan? No. Jordan was way later. What today Iraq was Syria, Lebanon, and Egypt. Syria, Damascus was the capital. Damascus. I want to show people There's a video, amazing video about Mordechai Kedar. Professor Mordechai Kedar talks about how, the actual Al-Aqsa is in Saudi Arabia, and he goes over this whole thing of how, like, basically why here, this is an amazing video, why how, like, the Jerusalem became even a thing in the Arab world, because Damascus, the caliphate over there, had to give the people in that area something to work with. It's a short video, 33 minutes.
Yeah.
This is amazing. Some of it has subtitles.
سبحانه وتعالى قد قرر في كتابه أن القدس جزء من العقيدة الإسلامية، جزء من القرآن الكريم الذي نتعبد الله سبحانه وتعالى به. وقد قرر القرآن الكريم قبل اليونسكو وقبل أي شعوب أخرى أن المسجد الأقصى هو مسجد للمسلمين، مسجد للمسلمين وحدهم، لقوله تعالى: سبحان الذي أسرى بعبده ليلا من المسجد الحرام إلى المسجد الأقصى الذي باركنا حوله.
You know, the problem of the Al-Aqsa Mosque that you have is so many stories about its history. One of the histories that I heard about the Al-Aqsa Mosque, that Al-Aqsa Mosque is never ever been created in Jerusalem. It is somewhere in Saudi Arabia.
Jerusalem is the site in which Muhammad had his nocturnal flight on his legendary mare.
Once in a while he was going to Taif. It's a city in the Arab Peninsula to the east from Mecca. When he was walking to Taif, the way was 2 days walk. He used to spend the night in a village named Ji'rana. And in the morning when he woke up, he used to pray in one of two mosques which were near Ji'rana. One was closer to the village, and it was named the closer mosque, Al-Masjid Al-Adna, and the other one was further from the mosque, and it was called the further mosque, Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. One morning, he woke up in Mecca with a new revelation, which is stated in the Quran in chapter 17, which says, glory to Allah, who took his servant at night from the holy mosque, which is Mecca, to the further mosque, which is near Jiran. His companions understood it very well because they know exactly what the further mosque is.
All is legends. Of course, a nocturnal flight, a miraculous mare, Gabriel bringing him, all that is stories. The Muslims take this as historical fact, whereas the big stones, the finds and everything is meaningless to them.
The Prophet died in 632. 50 years later, there was a rebellion against the government which was in Damascus already by the Umayyads. Because of various reasons, they did not let the people from Damascus area come to pilgrimage, to Hajj, to Mecca. So the Caliph Yazid collected his ulama, means the wise people, what to do with this? Because the Hajj is an obligatory mission to go every year, we have to do it. So he came with an idea. Let's take Jerusalem as an alternative place for pilgrimage. So they tell him, hey, but Jerusalem is not mentioned in the Quran. And Jerusalem is not mentioned in the Quran. How can we convince the people to come to Hajj, to Jerusalem? So he said, you remember this verse in the Quran? Glory to Allah who took his servant from the holy mosque to the further mosque, Al-Aqsa. Let's tell the people that Al-Aqsa is in Jerusalem.
The only reason that worked was because most of the Islamic world is illiterate. And yeah. And by the way, the Hajj thing, I wonder where they got that from, where you got to make a pilgrimage to the place, every so often, Where did they get that one? You're muted, Frank.
No, I know. We got Rafi over here.
Oh, okay. He's excited.
So, yeah, obviously, dude, anybody who has any interest in the truth whatsoever already knows this, okay? And anybody who's talking about it and screaming about it, and it doesn't know this basic bit of information that you just showed, doesn't want to know this information. They just hate Jews. So it's pointless.
Yeah.
It's kind of pointless to really even, it's not pointless because there could be some people kind of somewhere in the periphery who are like, oh, that's interesting. I never heard that before. Okay, like a couple of normal people here and there.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're involved in this discussion, then you're mostly either just a Jew hater, someone who is responding to Jew haters, or the occasional curious, curious mind. That's it. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. So that's fine. But the basic point of this whole, of even discussing the Middle East, which I always regret, is the tolerance. It's the lesson, the painful, agonizing lesson of what happens when you tolerate evil. When evil is tolerated. Now, it's connected to your question as to why, why are there Jews who are good people in Israel who understand this? Why aren't they attacking and cooing the Israeli government?
Also Jews in America. Yeah.
I don't know. This should not. I'll be honest with you. I'm not trying to be diplomatic, but this is not a Jewish only.
I know
situation.
I know it's not, but we are clearly.
This is.
It's not meaning. There's an obvious situation where
how come Texans
for sure
aren't securing their own border? How come they didn't organize their own border patrols?
You're right.
How come they're not doing that?
Well, they can't. They can't. They're not allowed. So in our case, it's like
okay. So Israelis are allowed. The right wing Israelis they're allowed to storm the Bastille.
You know what's interesting? Well, they're not allowed to do that. But what I'll tell you,
there's your answer.
No, just give me a second. When I was in Israel, this past April, May, what I did notice is there are certain people that kind of take matters into their own hands when it comes to just giving themselves the ability to defend themselves. There were guys I met who were carrying guns around Jerusalem who didn't even have a permit for it. My friend from the army just stay here. He gave me his gun, just carry it because it was heavy. Just carry it around. You think I'm allowed to do that technically? No. The point is people have the ability to do in Israel, you can do certain things and you kind of get away with it. Listen, I don't know if they can, so to speak, storm the Bastille, but there are people constantly, appearing in what is it called? In committees, relatives of oh my God, I'm blanking out, of hostages, relatives of this person and that person, and they're literally screaming in the face of of these politicians. Whether or not these politicians care, some of them do, some of them don't. I don't know. There's things that people could do and that people do, and now finally for example, there's a channel 14 in Israel, which is called literally the Patriots channel, where people of our ilk are able to at the very least voice their opinion, because in Israel, the entire media had been captured by the left entirely up until this point. Completely. There was no right wing. You're talking about 80% or 90% of the country had no voice in the media. Zero. And now they finally do. It's like the Newsmax of Israel, you could say. It's the most popular channel. So there are things, but as far as storming this and storming that, I don't know.
So here's the answer. I don't know if this is the answer. This is just what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Mm-hmm. And this is true for all of mankind, all the good people in the world. The Texans who aren't securing their own border, the U.S. Army troops who are stationed in Mannheim, Germany, rather than at their hometown on the border in Arizona or Nevada, right? Or even California or Texas. Why aren't they? Because there is whatever existed in man, whatever mechanisms, internal mechanisms, physical, psychological, even spiritual mechanisms, anatomy, the anatomy that man once had to do the right thing in the face of obvious perpetration. Is that a word? Perpetration?
Yeah.
Right?
Perpetrators.
Well, that's perpetrators. I'm talking about what they do, not who they are.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So in the face of their evil acts, men would understand. Like, for instance, you got a border, you got a farm, you got a family, they're there, they need to be protected. You can't have an open border. If there are raids being done by enemy bandits from the next country, you have to protect the border to protect them from raiding your. So people used to understand, and they wouldn't just let raids happen.
Yes.
Okay, so usually that's where the stories begin. There was a raid on the village, and then the response was overwhelming. That's what a war happened because of those raids. That's the basic story of human history.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, but that's not happening anymore. So whatever internal device that was a natural part of the human being, especially of the men who would act in those kind of situations, is switched off.
Well, can I tell you something? Even when October 7th happened, and I literally have met people, or I've heard people say, people who don't hate Israel or Jews, but they do say, they're just in their ignorance, they say, Israel has a right to respond, and they're genuine when they say this. This is not like as a right to respond.
Stupid thing to
no,
say.
No. Just give me a second. They say it's a right to respond, but there's all this collateral damage and all the rest of it. But like, so even with that, it's like, I'm surprised that Israel is the majority of Israel, even the so-called left of center people, they were like, we have to just decimate this enemy that did this. We have to decimate it entirely. So it has not been entirely beaten out of, at least not out of the Jews. At least not out of the Jews.
They might be saying that, but they don't mean it. They're not realistic about what that means. They're not going to act. Their actions will not match the sentiment. That's the problem. Do you understand? Like they might say it as an immediate emotional reaction, but they're not serious about it because they care more about their entrenched ideologies than they do about actually
or just how it looks.
Security.
A lot of people care about how it looks. A lot of people say we can't sing to their level. This whole we can't sing to their level stuff. A lot of people, and I've asked people this. I'm like, what is it going to take for you to dafka sing to their level? What is it go? What do they have to do? They have to come in and just like, what do they have to do? Give me a red line that they have to cross for you to want to like you ever see those videos of like those two metal like that metal apparatus crushing different objects for you to want to like just go like this and just crush them like a can.
Bro, Point Break is such a perfect metaphor because Israel is Keanu Reeves in that scene where he had the gun to Patrick Swayze's head, right? And what he should have done is he should have pulled the trigger, blown that guy's head off, and then pulled the cord and stopped the evil that was occurring.
In the movie, he became friends with him. That's why he couldn't do it. He became like close to him.
He couldn't do it because he was too entrenched in his own ideology to recognize,
like, you can't just kill a guy, you have to arrest him.
The reality, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So he finally does the right thing, just like in the movie The Hitcher, where the kid, he does end up killing Rutger Hauer in the end of the movie. Finally, well, it's too late, by the way. Okay, for him, that is, and for Jennifer Jason Leigh. But in Point Break, he catches up with Patrick Swayze in Australia, right? And then he lets him. He goes to kill himself. Patrick Swayze. He goes to ride a 100-foot wave where he just he drowns or whatever, gets crushed, right? So he lets him go, but but he threw his badge away. The badge represents that liberal mind virus ideology. He threw it away, and that's the only way to make any positive change in the world. Okay, the Jews of Israel, they must repent and become and they must understand the Torah is the only way. They have to shed this Western European ace of dog shit that they imposed upon themselves to be modern, to be a modern country, to be sophisticated. The sophistication is the arbor.
The concepcia.
That's what they say call in Israel. The people watching us, they have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
I know.
It's Asav. It's the Western it's the Western modern model is what's sinking everyone. It's sinking Israel. It's forcing them, it's not allowing them to do what they need to do. Okay. And it's not, and it's also the West is suffering from it. America is clearly suffering from it. Australia, England, clearly suffering from it.
Yeah.
England is a different story. England is straight up, I mean, I think really on some level.
It's gone. It's gone.
No, but it's gone because Prince Charles is a Sufi Muslim.
Not only that, they're gone in the sense of Orwellian sense. Now they're just arresting people for posting things on the internet.
No, but that's part of the Sufi Islam Gnostic thing.
Yeah.
So Prince Charles is a for sure a practicing Gnostic, kind of like
he did some sort of Arabic incantation,
semi-druidic kind of. They all mixed with each other. Okay. Stuff, and that's why he's feeding pretty young English girls to rape monkeys.
Yeah.
That's what I just said is a perfect description of what he's doing. He's feeding young English girls to rape monkeys, to gangs of them. Tommy Robinson is in jail right now. For exposing this.
Yeah.
So
you know that somebody we recently found out that apparently Queen Elizabeth, his mom, she would never meet with, and she had the opinion that all the Israeli leaders were. She would say, you guys are either all sons of terrorists or terrorists themselves. Like even leaders going back to the founding of the state. She only had Israeli leaders when it was part of like a state visit, but personally, she never met any Israeli leader. She hated Israel. She hated it.
Look at the shock on her face.
Yeah, I know. Listen, these people. Every time I hear any kind of English person say anything about Israel, negative, I say their ass flipping hurts from when we threw it on the street. We threw it we put it in a boat and we made it sail in the Mediterranean. Their ass hurts when we threw them out on it.
Yeah. And by the way, their response, folks, all of these modern post World War I, World War II inventions called Saudi Arabia, Jordan, right? All of the map of the Middle East was completely a British creation.
British and French, yeah.
They set the stage for all the attacks on Israel.
By the way, why do you think France is saying now pull back from the, because they freaking made Lebanon and Syria. They made the crap. The modern borders according to oil pipelines. Why do you think you look at a map? Folks, look at a map of Iraq, Syria, all these places. It's like, you ever see a country with like straight lines, borders that are straight flipping lines? These are not natural, the line to the, quote unquote, that delineates Judea and Samaria, what they call the West Bank of the Jordan River. That is a river. That's a natural thing, but it's not a straight line. It's like there's a river, and then you go further down. It's the Dead Sea. You go up. It's the Lake Tiberias, Galilee, and the Golan. But like all these other places, it's like it's like trapezoid and square and line. These are all oil pipe lines. That's exactly, and it was the British and the French, the Sykes-Picot. This is like, come on, man. And they stole our land. The British and the French stole parts, chopped up. They forced Israel, and unfortunately, these so-called Israeli leaders capitulated to some of it. Like every time we captured land, what does God do? This is what goes back to what I said before. God thrusts a war upon us. We defend ourselves. we capture land, or we supposedly capture land. He wants us to capture land. He's giving it to us. Here you go. Here, take Judea and Samaria. Take Jerusalem. Take the old city. Take. And then what does this guy do? What's his name? Moshe Dayan. Oh, I don't need this Vatican. What are we going to do with it? Gives it to the Waqf, the Judaian Temple Mount. So folks, the soldiers over the radio. Can I play audio of this, of the soldiers capturing the Temple Mount?
Can I make a point first? Can I make a point? I'm scared of it.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, we've said this times. Everything we're saying right now, we've said this
pull
many
away
times.
from the mic.
Actually, it actually just said your internet connection was cut off.
Oh,
I saw it a little bit. So, we've said this many times. Everything, we sound like a broken record. And I'm sitting here thinking, how will the Jewish people of Israel ever change? When will they finally recognize, or what will it take for them to finally understand that the way that the leadership that they've had since the establishment of the state of Israel is totally unacceptable and will always lead them to disaster, always. Because they never follow through with victory. They snatch defeat out of the jaws of victory. That is the MO of the Israeli political echelon. And the Jewish people of Israel, what is it going to take for them to realize that? Right? I'm thinking, and we say this a lot. What is it going to take? What is it going to take? But the answer is who. It's not what. It's a who. So it's not going to be me. We've been screaming about this for over 3 years, right? Obviously, our podcast ambitions are not gonna cut it, right? To save the world like we were hoping. Okay, but nevertheless, there still needs to be someone, if not us, right? It has to be someone who will be able to communicate this, and it's only Mashiach. That's the only answer. So, religious people, you ask them, what's the answer? Mashiach. Oh, it's just like one of those like responsive answers. But this is a thoughtful answer. This is here's the proof why. I think only Mashiach is going to be successful in showing the Jewish people in Israel that their European style bullshit way of life and government is nothing but failure and disaster, one after the other. So Mashiach, I think, is going to have to prove that. He's going to show everybody. Whenever God finally, gets around to letting them show up and have a direct conversation. Because obviously events don't teach lessons to people. Wars don't. October 7th didn't teach anybody anything. No lessons were learned. Okay? The Holocaust didn't teach anybody anything. No lessons. Okay? It's that, people say, over time, the progression and people learn. No, they don't. If you didn't learn from the Holocaust, you didn't learn from October 7th, you're not going to learn. These things happening don't teach shit. It has to be an outside supernatural type teacher coming and awing everyone and then explaining to them once he has their attention. That's what it's going to take. That's what we have to demand. Okay, that's why this whole drone thing is such a bummer. Yeah. Because it's like, before you realize there was drones, before I saw the first, I saw the headline, mystery objects all over, for weeks and weeks. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. I see the videos. I'm like, that's a fucking drone. Wonderful. You know what I mean? Like crushing disappointment.
Sir, may I play? It's a 1 minute clip, and then I want to read to you an article from a Jewish newspaper about Orthodox one about what Syria, this whole Syria thing, could mean. Might be of interest to you and our viewers. But let's just as a minute thing, I want to play this.
אנחנו יושבים על הרכב שצופה אל העיר העתיקה. אנחנו נהיה הראשונים להיכנס אליה. לנוע אל השער.
umamikim ito khairati ka.
I hate them so much.
Let me collect myself, dude. Can I just say to the folks at home something that was true back then and true today? Remains and will always be. The chasm between what the soldiers of Israel want and what the government of Israel wants could not be fucking, pardon my language, ever wider at any time. Meaning, it's always the case. A soldier who's in Gaza, a soldier who was on the Temple Mount, a soldier who's in Lebanon, a soldier who probably is now in the Hermon on the Syrian side, what he wants, if he's normal, if he doesn't have his head lodged in his tuchus, is very, very different from what a person in the Israeli government wants in the Israeli political class or these,
Okay, now let me collect myself for a
and that's
second.
it. And that's it.
I despise Moshe Dayan. I despise all the Israeli leadership since the beginning because the Jews captured Jerusalem and they removed the victory. They took it away. The leadership, the supposed leadership of the Jews is the final exile of the Jewish people. It's not the Arabs. It's not America putting pressure on Israel. It's not Biden. It's nothing. It's the last vestiges of the evil and the slavery of the Jews is to finally shed itself of that leftist political echelon of Israel who snatches victory away from the Jews at every step.
Sir, may I read
Whenever
to
I
you?
see that clip, I can't believe that they took that event and threw it in the trash. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
I hate them so much. Never forgive them ever. Have them all excommunicated from the Jews, if they were ever real Jews to begin with.
Listen, before I
the
agree
Israeli
with you,
political echelon.
Frank, I agree with you, but before I read what I want to read, it's short, it's relatively short, but we can talk about it because it's Torah, it's a Torah thing. On the one hand, and we spoke about this before, and a lot of people have said this, in 1967 is when the so-called, Baal Tshuva movement started, actually. One of my teachers, Yom Tov Glazer, likes to say, hello, Mr. Rafi, that in 1967, an aperture was opened, and basically it was like a spiritual portal, and that's when the movement started to bring Jews back to, or Jews coming back to the Torah, Jews who were not raised religious and came back to the Torah and mitzvot. And I heard many people say that maybe we weren't ready yet for the temple, but that's only hindsight. You look back in hindsight, maybe we weren't. I don't know. Well, that's your answer. But listen, my whole thing is like, if Hashem, it's the same thing with, and I'll be the first to say it's the same thing with Judea and Samaria. If Hashem wanted us to have it, then it would have happened. So clearly there was some more growth. But honestly, right now, we've done all the growing in that respect that we possibly could. And I think now it's really up to us up to really this generation, this kind of very low generation, to do what needs to be done. And I feel like every time we pause and we hesitate for whatever reason, whether it's outside forces, internal, Hashem brings us, like he's just dragging us kicking and screaming. He's dragging us kicking and screaming into history, into what we're supposed to be. He's doing it now. Well, you don't think he is?
I don't know what he's doing, but it feels like the exact opposite of what you're saying.
No, it's happening
Feels
very
like we're
slow.
dragging him kicking and screaming.
No, well, we are, but meaning it's happening very slow, but it is happening. I mean, if somebody told me that we would, take over, we would plant an Israeli flag on the the other side of the Hermon, I would say it's all, I'm like, I'd like that, but I don't know if it's gonna happen. If somebody told me that we would essentially, decimate in the way that we have. How much fear mongering was going on for all these years about Hezbollah? Hezbollah has this, Hezbollah has that, you know? Nasrallah, Hezbollah is not Hamas, they're an organized army. There was a lot of fear mongering. People were like really, really, they thought that a lot of people for years, for the last 10 years at least, thought that if we were ever go to war with Hezbollah, that Hezbollah would obliterate, if not the entire country, our country, then at least the entire north of the country. And so clearly Hashem has shown us that that's not the case, you know?
Bro, the reason why people thought that Hezbollah can obliterate that part of the country,
They were told that, yeah.
is because the political echelon of Israel doesn't give the Jews who live in Israel any real information.
You're absolutely right. But what I'm trying to tell you is whether or not they give us real information is not my point. My point is that we see once we take matters, or rather, once Hashem pushes us into a particular situation and we fully respond as we are supposed to do, things work out usually in our favor. And then all we have to realize is that once we've, planted that flag wherever we plant it, wherever, Hashem allows us to do it, we plant the flag and just to keep going. Don't flip and stop. Don't do ceasefires, don't do pauses, don't just keep. And I understand people could say, well, maybe with this ceasefire with Hezbollah right now, because we've decimated enough of them to where, and the ceasefire was for the purpose of allowing, in a way, Bibi, I think, used the opportunity to just allow, because you want to weaken Iran, right? So how do you weaken Iran? You have to eliminate. This is a big proxy that they had. They had in Assad, right? They're not going to use these ISIS guys. I mean, they hate each other with a passion, right? They're not going to use these ISIS guys. And now we just decimated their entire Air Force because the Air Force, these planes are not being flown by anybody. We eliminated it. And now we can actually, if we can literally do whatever we want. We can do whatever we want in Lebanon. We can do whatever we want in Syria.
No, we can't.
For the most part, we can.
No, we can't.
If we want to,
no,
we can.
We can't.
Why not?
No, we want to, but we can't.
No, I'm saying if we want to, we can. Physically, we can.
Who's we?
It's exactly.
No, we can't because we have Netanyahu as the leader.
Well,
look,
not for long, my friend.
Look, everything that you're saying, meaning when I say Netanyahu, I mean anybody in the Israeli political echelon.
Yeah,
he's the best of them, whatever. Okay, but that's not.
He's the least shitty. Yeah, not the best, the least shitty. Yeah,
it's like the least. Okay, so.
Did the Rebbe have such low standards? I'm just curious.
He didn't have low standards.
No, you know what I mean.
He's dealing with who he was given to deal with.
No, what I mean by low, I'm joking, obviously, but when I say low standards, I mean like the Rebbe clearly saw something in the BB. Bro, and I guarantee if the Rebbe was here, he would say I still see something in him.
Bro, there's no way that BB will do the right thing at all. Impossible.
So Hashem will make him.
Wait a minute. Wait. Unless all the stuff that you're talking about will never ever happen. Nothing good will ever happen for the Jews in Israel ever, unless Mashiach is literally,
yes,
controlling BB remotely.
I think that's what's happening. Meaning, I think that literally is that Hashem is doing it. Whether you want to say via Mashiach, a lot of the tzaddikim today say Mashiach is working in secret. Mashiach is here. He's working. Hashem has given Mashiach the power to work, operating like what you just said. Like a remote control. I think that's what's happening. And every time BB stops, it's like a wind-up toy. BB's a wind-up toy. And every time the wind-up toy, it runs out of the thing, whatever the power of the thing. And Mashiach just winds him up again. And then and then we do what we're supposed to do. And then he stops again. Literally, he's like a wind-up toy. He's Mashiach's wind-up toy. That's what I think. At this point, it's sad. And that's probably what the Rebbe saw. He's a good wind-up toy for Mashiach. That's it. That's where.
I can't take it. I can't be normal on this topic.
Okay, can I read something to you from Torah that talks about at least the Damascus and Syria? This is something from our tzaddikim, from our sages, something relevant. Okay, this is an article in five towns, Long Island, Jewish community. It's 5 towns, whatever. It's called Astounding Revelation, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai and the Fall of Damascus. It says, as news spread of the collapse of Assad's regime in Syria, a striking ancient nevuah, prophecy attributed to Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, the Rashbi, has resurfaced, hinting at profound implications for Geula and Klal Yisrael. The prophecy recorded in the Sefer Otzar Midrashim describes events that signaled redemption for Israel. According to the text attached below, they attached it in this. It's actually interesting. This Rashbi, while hiding in a cave, received divine messages from a malach, an angel, detailing for future occurrences. One passage seems to particularly relevant to today's terms. Quote, and it is a sign for you when you see that the eastern Nero has fallen, and in Damascus the kingdom of Bnei Mizrach, like the sons of the east, collapses. Then the salvation of Israel will sprout, and Mashiach ben David will arise and ascend to Jerusalem. Some scholars have noted a fascinating numerical connection. The gematria of Eastern Nero matches the name Bashar Assad. This I've heard, actually. This alignment, coupled with the timing of Assad's reported downfall, has sparked debate whether this prophecy is unfolding before our eyes. The fall of Damascus may signal not just regional shifts, but a heralding of redemption and divine turning point for Am Israel. As events in Syria continue to unfold, the words of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai offer a powerful lens through which to interpret the present and anticipate the future. May the words of the Rashbi be mekuyim, like accepted, and may we merit to see the Geula speedily in our days. And now I just want to see it. Like there's a video. Somebody they embedded a video here.
אני רוצה לקחת אותך לכיוון התלמודי של המלחמה הזאת. באוצר המדרשים...
See, this is a guy that came on. Remember I mentioned Channel 14, the Patriot channel in Israel? So they allow people to come on, people who give like Torah and connection to, everything that's going on.
אני רוצה לקחת אותך לכיוון התלמודי של המלחמה הזאת. באוצר המדרשים יש סיפור מפליא. רבי שמעון בר יוחאי מספר, הוא נמצא במערה, הוא שומע מלאך. מה אומר לו המלאך? תקשיב. וזה לך האות. כשאתה רואה שנפל נירון מזרחי שבדמשק, נפלה מלכות בני מזרח, ואז תצמח הישועה לישראל ומשיח בן דוד בא. אומר רבי שמעון בר יוחאי לפני מעל 2000 שנה, תדע לך, ייפול דמשק, ייפול אותו נירון מזרחי, תבוא הישועה, תבוא הגאולה לעם ישראל, לך תדע, אולי זה הזמן של הגאולה, וסתם דרך אגב, נירון מזרחי, זה גימטריה בשאר אסד.
It's a famous, video that's going on in Israel.
Yeah, that's very encouraging. I can't,
That's it. Listen, obviously we can't deny, despite our sentiments for Bibi and all these political classes, we cannot deny that Hashem is like churning things along here, even though it's
he has
slow.
to do it eventually at some point.
Yeah, it's slow as hell. It's super slow, but it seems like it's kind of like still right on time with what Rabbi Weisberg and Rabbi Kessin are saying. That's what I'm concerned. That's what I'm focused on here. I wish we don't have to wait until 2027. I wish it would be like right now. Even though 2 years could be a blink.
2027 literally feels like
eternity.
2024 was eternity. Like literally, it's still eternity.
Do you know what I find fascinating though? That 2026 is going to be what? The 250th anniversary of. So get this. I've been thinking about this a lot. 250th anniversary, a celebration of of America, which Trump is going to he's going to do this whole thing, events. And right in between that, here, is what's going to be? We're America is co-hosting, along with Mexico and Canada, but really mostly America, the World Cup, soccer. So you're going to literally think about this. You're going to have the eyes of billions of people watching, the World Cup in America. And can you imagine if like Mashiach, like people are glued to their screens, and then all of a sudden, like billions of people are glued to their screens, and then some game, right? Some soccer game, one of the games. And then all of a sudden, and by the way, it's going to be like right in the middle, like the second week of the tournament or third week. And all of a sudden, like Mashiach comes, and then like, okay, and now we're panning over to, dude, you notice, remember the OJ thing, the OJ chase, the car chase. What was going on during that time, during that coverage, at least in America. People were glued to their screens. They were watching the Knicks in the finals, the Knicks and the Rockets. And then they just pan over to, Marv Rebels like, and now we go to, whatever. Breaking news. And then they just show this chase. And everybody who's watching the game, millions of people are watching the chase. And then on top of the people that tuned in to watch the chase. Same thing here. Billions of people are going to be watching this one event. Can you imagine if Mashiach just arrived? Like televised. The whole world.
We don't need the World Cup. It could it could be televised right now. I don't watch the World Cup. I won't know that Mashiach, some dummy, some soccer hooligan's gonna know Mashiach showed up before I do.
Just 1 second, sir. I'm being Sovietized. 1 second. Sorry, I was asked if there was a particular object on my desk. I do not have it. Can I read something from Ross Coldhart that he just tweeted out about an hour ago? This is like his recent tweet, kind of a long one.
And we'll end off on that.
Yeah. He says, yawn. Wake up, New York Times. There's a huge story in your patch. A limp morsel here from the dithering gray lady on the drone saga. But how about reporting that that FBI, Department of Defense, has just admitted after months of incursions that they have no idea at all what these objects are. Something is putting advanced craft over a hugely populated area of the U.S. and we cannot do anything about it. Since when is that not a story? So remember this for the history books when the Times' role in suppressing the story is finally reported. Yeah. The Pentagon has today admitted it's not foreign adversary drones and it's not U.S. technology. So it's not China, Russia, or Iran. Will DOD now claim, like in a weak way, without any evidence at all, it's Russia-linked organized crime gangs? What's left? So, New York Times, are you going to ask questions of POTUS with your privileged access and push for answers? Or are you going to continue to be lickspittles, I don't know what the hell that means, for the national security state? Are those drones over New Jersey? Sightings mount? Oh, okay, so he just tagged the article. Dude, they're doing the same thing what they did with the Holocaust.
If they ask questions, if they ask questions, then they're going to have to ask the question of, well, how do you put something the size of a minivan up in the sky and keep it up there for 7 hours, and you can't find the guy who's controlling who's controlling it? Like they're out of range. They're far. We have this kind of technology.
Yeah.
If we do, well, why can't people have it? Seems like it would be very useful for mankind. It could certainly loosen up some traffic jams. That's why they're not reporting it.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know. To me, I just realized like the fact that planes are being allowed to fly just goes to show that these probably are not physical things. They're not physical. They are, we have the orbs and we have these things, whatever they are. But nobody's talked about the orbs. We have orbs. Hello, orbs.
Even orbs are physical.
No, but like no one's mentioning the orbs.
Yeah, no, that's
hello. And then some of the orbs are turning into these things and vice versa.
Have you seen videos?
I've seen a couple of videos of these things that like an orb becoming that and that becoming an orb.
Also, I don't believe the video, so why did I even ask that question?
Okay, but there are orbs. For sure there's orbs.
Yeah.
And you and I even went to try to see them.
But we didn't see them.
I believe we felt them. We felt something.
I don't trust your feelings.
My feelings. You felt it too.
I don't trust those feelings either.
I deny my feelings.
No, it's just like that scene from Hot Tub Time Machine. He goes, "Well, it's my heart." He goes, "Your heart's a fucking liar."
Yeah, you know what? This Jordan Crowder, Jordan Peterson and Crowder
Steven Crowder.
Steven Crowder. Yeah, he wrote insane but increasingly plausible theory. Are we witnessing the early stages of a U.S. coup? It's been rumored for decades that the US government has extraterrestrial technology. It's been rumored that there's a faction of the government that wants it kept secret and a faction that wants it released. It's also been rumored that much of it now belongs to secretive corporations and hidden black projects, like you said. What if a rogue group within this faction decided to take this technology, which is far superior to our conventional military capabilities, and wanted to assert dominance, possibly in connection to the upcoming transfer of power? He tagged Trump and Musk are incredibly quiet in the face of all this. Are we seeing white hats? This is actually what I was thinking, actually. From the inside, creating a breakaway group and using exotic technology to prepare for a possible US versus US showdown? Holy shiznit. I hope that's just a wild, fleeting thought, but it's actually the most logical thing that explains what's happening right now. I mean, they have been oddly quiet. Trump is quiet. Musk is quiet. Biden's quiet. I mean, Biden's always quiet.
What? Hey, I'm going to say something that I have no reason to, which I'm going to play off of what this guy just said.
Yeah.
Space Force.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could be Space Force.
Yeah.
I'm all for it, man.
Yeah.
United States Space Force. There's a guy my neighbor who has a Space Force sticker on his SUV.
Yeah.
I've been meaning to talk to him about it. Be like, where'd you get that sticker?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you could join Space Force. I'd join Space Force.
I know this Froome guy who actually works at Space Force. He's like a physics guy or something like that. Engineer. Something like that. Religious guy.
You know a guy who works at Space Force?
I literally know, like, yeah. What the hell is his name?
You never mentioned this to me.
I know, because I was always like, does he really work at Space? And then I looked into it. I'm like, he actually works at Space Force. He's a right-wing kind of, religious guy. The hell's his name? I forget his name. I gotta look this up on Facebook. He's on Facebook. People, let's see. His name. Oh yeah, this guy, Steve Lackner. He's in LA, and what does he do? Yeah, there you go. Program manager at Space Force from September of 2011. Interesting. I don't even know what a program manager means. He studied law at Pepperdine. And yeah, he's been working at Space Force apparently for like a long time.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, fascinating. Maybe we can bring him on. Doi.
We got to have a Space Force guys on.
Yeah.
The fact that he's a religious Jew is very, very interesting.
Yeah. Here. Presidential Management Fellowship. I'm just going to look at his LinkedIn.
Of the things that have irritated me more than anything that I've seen in recent months, that footage of the Jews conquering Jerusalem and then just giving it back, basically, essentially giving it back. I cannot calm down. I need to figure. I have to go have a drink.
Yeah.
To calm down from that.
Yes. See,
I can't be consumed by this much hatred. I can't.
Yes. Do you know what he does at Space Force, by the way? This is here, LinkedIn. I currently work for the United States Air Force Space and Missile Systems Center as part of the federal government's flagship Leadership Development Presidential Management Fellowship (PMF) program. I provide direct support to the directors of a multi-billion-dollar space program, and this would serve as a perfect backdrop towards working with you. My current position is a highly competitive and prestigious fellowship. I don't know what that means in the slightest.
Hey, here's some more evidence. Well, I don't know if it is evidence, but if Tom Homan and Trump had not said a word yet about what's been going on in Jersey, I haven't seen any comments from the president about that would lend more credence to this is Space Force.
Yeah, that's entirely possible.
By the way, just a very, very side note, there's like people who are saying that like, oh, the president doesn't like General Flynn because you never see Flynn at any Trump events, or he's never. And obviously, people who are fans of General Flynn, they fight back, but General Flynn was at an event in Mar-a-Lago with the president yesterday, and his son Flynn Jr. He just like posted the picture. He's like, boom. He's like, boom. He's like, boom. There you go.
Yeah.
I hope he finds a place for General Flynn in his administration.
I think he will.
It would
I
be
think
bad if he. I think it would be bad if he.
There's going to be. I'll tell you what's going to happen. There's a lot of the people that he wants to appoint. There's going to be a big battle in in Congress over whatever, approving them or confirming them. He's just going to end up doing all this, czarring a lot of people, just like Obama did. And of course, the media is going to complain about, oh, he's czarring everybody. It's a freaking dictatorship. Meanwhile, Obama czarred the world. He czarred the world. And that's it. And that's it. And they'll get to do what they'll get to do, and that'll be that. And then everybody, like you said, everybody will see how, that it'll be, for the betterment of the country. They'll stop having these looks on their faces, like a sad, like they lost their puppy. And that's it. And then maybe we'll be able to speak to them in public, venues.
I don't want to talk to anybody. I'm done talking.
No, I also don't. But honestly, again, this is what I was telling my friends the other day. The only reason I go to any events, the only reason I talk to anybody or I hobnob with anybody, just like I did yesterday, I went to this event, some whatever rabbi invited me to a dinner, one of these gala dinners, and I just talk. Is because I have to meet my wife. If I didn't have to do that, I would not go anywhere. I literally would not go to anybody. Just one second.
Greg would say that he's experiencing Sovietism.
Sorry about that. It's a major league Sovietism. Major league. Yeah, so I wouldn't go to anybody's house for Shabbat. I mean, maybe I would once in a while, but I wouldn't do this whole, oh man, where am I going for Shabbat? Hey, guess where I'm going? I'm with my wife and kids in my own house. I'm going to my dining table. That's where I'm going. Oh yeah. That's it. At this age, there's no reason for it. There's no reason to go to I ran into this guy yesterday. He got married a couple of years ago and they finally had a baby. And then he goes, I think he's like 33 or 34. And the guy's like, oh man, my wife's pushing for number 2. And then he goes, but I want to go somewhere, want to be able to go somewhere. And I'm like, you selfish putz. You didn't travel in your 20s? Like you could still go somewhere once in a while, but you didn't get to travel in your 20s? Dude, I did all my traveling and, there's only so much. Whatever, dude. I'll trade in all that Brazil and Argentina and Thailand for kids right now.
Yeah, the guy who says that, he's not necessarily a selfish putz. He just hasn't learned that his childish fantasies about what he hopes to experience doesn't exist. It won't happen.
Yeah.
And he'll realize how stupid it was. I don't want to go anywhere. I honestly don't, unless it's something. Look. I'm gonna end off on this.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna understand me. I think our friend Max is gonna understand, and a few OG listeners.
Yeah.
Anybody new, this might be a little puzzling to you, but the only trip I want to go is I want to get my ass to Mars and I want to press the reactor. Remember the reactor
from Total Recall? Get your ass to Mars. Get your ass to Mars.
Right. Get my ass to Mars and to press the reactor and then die. That's what I want to do. I want to press. I want to push that button, and that's my weekend getaway.
Rafi's like. By the way, dude, I'm just reading little headlines that come up on my WhatsApp. Trump is gonna cancel the F-35 contract with Lockheed Martin. Speaking of Lockheed Martin, this is crazy. In light of what we just spoke about. Why? Because, quote, China is winning the fighter race with Lockheed sends executives to DA, while Lockheed sends executives to DEI camps. China is winning they're making better fighters. Here's another thing.
They're making, actually what Elon Musk was saying was correct. Just because he said something right doesn't mean that I like. He's not the only one saying this, but yeah, everybody else is perfecting their drones, and we still want to put human beings into these things, and put it's not even necessary anymore. You have hypersonic drones. Why would you need a person sitting inside the aircraft. That makes like no sense.
Yeah.
You should make F-35 like recreational vehicles. If you want, you want rich guys to want to have a lot of fun to fly like amazing fighter jets, fine, but it's not necessary anymore when it comes to drones.
Yeah. Yeah. Trump, they just posted a tweet for that Trump made in like 2013. During the Syrian civil war, he said, "Remember, all these so-called freedom fighters in Syria want to fly planes into our buildings." Crazy. Anyway, there's some little things here. Syria update. An emergency revolutionary court martial has sentenced Talal al-Dakak, I don't want to pronounce it a different way, al-Dakak, a Syrian regime officer, to death. He was accused of feeding rebel prisoners to his lions. He will be hanged in the public square of Hama. Dude, I'm telling you, they live like in like ancient Rome, these people. It's like both sides,
I told you that the demons of the ancient world, they're all, that's where they live now.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, the whole Nero thing, right? Look at a bust of Nero and take a look at fucking Assad's face and tell me, can you do that for the folks at home?
And then we'll end off on it. Oh wow, that's crazy, dude. Wow.
Yeah,
the Nero.
I've never heard anybody say this except for me.
Jay Leno chin. Wow.
Especially this side by side.
Crazy. Unbelievable. Wow.
Can you put Assad and Nero?
Yeah. I'll do that right now. Oh, they don't have like I mean, there's no side by side thing, but there's just like here. Let's do like Shar Assad. I'll just show people Assad and then we'll show Nero. That's really insane, man. Rome burns and Nero fiddles. That's crazy, man.
He looks just like Nero. He has that same stupid face.
Yeah.
Wait, anybody notice that Bashar Assad is just a tall white man? Anybody?
Yeah. Well, they're Alawites. It was a whole different. Everybody thinks Shiites, but there's Alawites are a whole different thing, and they have a whole secret, secret rites that they have in their religion. And even they're considered apostates, like really apostates. Sunnis really consider them apostates. It's not like just a rivalry, it's like really they're like it's bad. If you're an Alawite, Sunnis, you got a problem. Sunnis have a serious problem with you. I don't want to be in your shoes. Anyway.
And with that.
Yes. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed. And
hope you gained something. Probably didn't enjoy because of my bitching and moaning, but
no, listen, people have to wake up. They have to be informed of things that they need to, be alert to. And wake up to and wake up from what it is. All right, my friends. You may hear from us soon because, well, let's take a look at the sky.
Oh yeah,
nothing there. There's nothing there. Also, it's also overcast. I don't know.
Go for a walk.
I know. These guys are like they're like the WB frog. When you're watching, they stop dancing. Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. All right. I might just do that though. All right.
Get some good footage.
Yes. All right.
Till next time.
All
right.